Chapter 609. Rich days. She could even share hundreds of liang with the other family members. Even then, she would still have enough savings. Yuezheng Shao did not mix the personal relationship with profit sharing. That was what a businessman should do. In this way would the cooperation continue in a smooth way over a long period of time. Qiao Xian was very satisfied. Yuezheng Shao's men also told her that Yuezheng Shao had already found 7 medium-sized places suitable for being the dessert stores in the province. He even had the decorations and furniture ready based on her requirements. By the time it was summer, they could open 2 stores for trial. Qiao Xian and Yuezheng Shao had 40% each, whilst Xie Jingrong had 20% share in the dessert stores. If the business went well, they would bring in a lot of money. Desserts were small in portion and the cost was low. When made in an exquisite way, they could become very popular. Once the cassavas were ready, they could harvest them if the jealous attraction ran out. Seedling process started soon after Yuezheng Shao's men fetched the lipsticks. Yubas, dried tofu, tofu cream skin and puffs were all available in the market after the opening at the Yan family. The business was very lively due to the uniqueness. The workshop was very busy from day to night. They managed to earn hundreds of liang within 1 month as profit. The Yan family used to earn only 40 or 50 liang of profit after selling tofu for 1 year in the past. The Yan family was highly motivated, and decided to buy a few more laborers to expand the production scale after the spring plow. Those bean products could be easily duplicated, so they needed to keep the secret well enough. Also, the Yan family would only hire those people who went through some simple procedures, in case they learned and opened stores themselves. They had to act carefully. Ms. Yan was very happy to hear that on her trip back to her mother's home. She had already earned back the cost she paid, and starting from the next month, she was going to earn profits. If she could get 7 to 10 liang a month, then she should earn hundreds of liang a year. That would ensure her a very wealthy life in the future. While she thought about this, she did not even bother to speak with Ms. Zhang. What was the point of arguing with people like her? Ms. Yan told Xiao Xian about this. Xiao Xian was glad too. It was a great start. The Yan family needed to ensure that the quality remained the same whilst the quantity arose. In this way, they could take up the market share so that the Yan family could stay firm on the ground even if there were a few competitors in the future. The first section of the family hired people to do the spring plow, since it was heavy labor work. They had money and they could save some effort. Qiao Xian was thinking about updating the space so that she could find some instructions for building farming tools. They might not be modernized or mechanized, yet they could save some labor force because of that. The farming tools which they had were too heavy and people worked really slowly with them. After the seedling, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan went across the properties at the Zhang village, and Qiao Xian visited the mountains a few more times, bringing some goods from there. The days became hotter than before. It was time for them to get ready for the busiest season of lipstick making. Students from Minghua College all went back to their classes. Chapter 610. Fruit seeds in South. On this very day, Yuezheng Shao sent his men to deliver seeds from the south again. The Yuezheng family had many contacts across the land. But due to the slow transportation, they traveled very slowly all over the place. Seeds were always welcomed whenever they were delivered. This time, Qiao Xian obtained seeds of all kinds of fruits, including papaya, longan, lychee, mango, carambola, dragon fruit, jackfruit, guava, jujube, grapefruit, and oranges. Each seed was wrapped in a yellow paper with the fruit's name written on it. Some were divided into different categories, such as lychees, which were divided into 4 categories, whilst mangoes into 9. Even bananas, sugarcane, and pineapples, which were not propagated by seeds, had been brought in large quantities. But due to the long distance and improper care, they had become listless and lifeless, and several of them had died. Yet as long as there was even one sample left, Qiao Xian was happy to receive it. She was delighted beyond words. When the men from the Yuezheng family were gone, she asked Qi, Tao Tao, and Chunyu as well as other maids to help with the planting of bananas and sugarcane. They would put the seeds close to the sweet potato field for later transplantation. Tao Tao and the others didn't know bananas and sugarcane, but they believed in Xiao Xian. Since she said that these were all fruits, they believed that these would be fruit trees. If they were planted, they would reap a lot of delicious fruits, so they all got excited. They were all amused by the strange-looking plants. They looked so weird. Everyone could not help but feel excited. What would those trees grow into? They really looked forward to seeing the results. After planting the fruits, they brought a basket and picked a lot of loquats, red bayberries and plums to take them back to eat. The fruits were very large in quantity and sweet. They believed that it was because of the spring which cultivated the land, plus the daily care, of course, it was because of these reasons that the fruits grew so well. They were going to have many fresh fruits available starting from now all the way to the winter. When Xiao Xian was alone, she could not wait but to exert her superpower. She wanted to revive the dead plants which had been sent by Yuezheng Shao. They instantly became lively and full of energy. Some even had a few tender leaves growing out of them. Xiao Xian was really pleased. She touched the leaves and said carefully, "You have to grow and flourish. Be sure to bloom and bear fruits." She was not worried about sugarcanes, which would grow properly due to her superpower. If they were not cared for, their texture, sweetness, size and quality could be affected. They would grow to be weak and small, not very sweet and also stiff. But she had her superpower, which could improve the fruits in every single way, so all the fruits would turn into the best quality ones ever seen. Chapter 6:11. Tryout. She was not sure about the bananas and pineapples. Maybe they only grew well without fruits, or the other way around, despite the superpower. Same with lychees and longans. But she was going to have a try anyway. She would see what happened to sugarcanes, bananas, and pineapples. The other with seeds could not survive this year. But some hanging fruits could grow out this year. In one word, Xiao Xian watched the seedlings and trees with a look of expectation and love. Probably after a couple of years, she was going to have delicious longans, lychees, mangoes, and dragon fruits to eat. When the fruits adjusted themselves to the local environment, she could expand their growth, so that people in the central land and north could be fed well. Well, in the process, she could earn some big fortune as well. On the way back home, the land officer told Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan that they were supposed to meet Officer Qiao the next day. Xiao Xian thanked the messenger. Xiao Xian smiled bitterly, seeing how land officer looked at them enviously. What was the point of being envious? You never knew what the actual situation was. She did not want to get involved with the Qiao family, if she had a choice. The following day, Xiao Xian asked Tao Tao, Yang Xiaoni and the others to work on the lipsticks and transplant the watermelons, whilst she and Shao Yunduan headed to the town. "Darling, what do you think they are up to this time?" Shao Yunduan was confused. He thought for a while and said, "They are not interested in us. But they are definitely interested in the Yuezheng family." Xiao Xian groaned annoyedly. "They can go to the Yuezheng family if they want to." Shao Yunduan chuckled. Officer Qiao would very much like to meet the Yuezheng family, but the other side would not want to meet him. "Don't worry, just leave everything to me. You can remain the silent and honest concubine's daughter." Xiao Xian burst into laughter, nodding. Okay. She could definitely play this role well. Shao Yunduan sighed inwardly. It was good that Xiao Xian did not take First Madam as the godmother, otherwise the Qiao family would get themselves attached to the Yuezheng family by touting family relation. Madam Qiao could always take Xiao Wei to pay a visit and First Madam would not be able to turn them down. The couple arrived at the mansion early in the morning. They had to behave as if they were very active, having been summoned, which should fit their personalities. Officer Qiao was very pleased seeing Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan promptly at his doorstep whenever he summoned them. He was proud that he had seen through Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan, who would obey him without hesitation. They were summoned for the Yuezheng family's affairs, for sure. "Yunduan, you are studying and soon you will be taking the examination, right? You aren't a talented person, and you need to study hard rather than get distracted. Or you will have no hope at all. You don't have to be in charge of the fields and tea. From today on, I will handle that task. I will arrange my men to take it over, so you don't have to do a thing. You are not experienced anyway, right? It is settled, then. You can write a letter to young Master Yuezheng and the strategist will tell you what to write. I will deliver that to young Master Yuezheng directly and you can leave the rest to me. Chapter 6:12, Outsider. Alright, just do as the strategist says. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian. Officer Qiao truly did not think that he was an outsider. Now he was putting on the air as an imposing father. He never liked Qiao Xian. Nor did he think Shao Yunduan would be talented or have a promising future. That was why he made the decision directly, without caring about what Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan thought. At this moment, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were indeed in a disadvantageous position. Ding Erzhu was in charge of what was happening in the Zhang village, but he was not a very talented manager. He could deal with the villagers, but not with Officer Qiao's men. If they did have an excellent manager, Shao Yunduan could say straightforwardly that Yuezheng Shao already had a manager, whilst he himself was just working sporadically with young Master Yuezheng, only to inspect the tea in the fields. In this way, he could have turned down Officer Qiao's offer. But there was no qualified manager working in the Zhang village, so Shao Yunduan could not use that excuse. If Officer Qiao sent someone to check it, things would be overturned and would make him skeptical. Shao Yunduan was silent. Officer Qiao looked annoyed as he frowned in displeasure. You don't want to? You have no time or talent for any kind of management. I am just helping. Did this man not want to accept his offer? Officer Qiao sounded as if he was granting a great favor. In fact, he needed money desperately. He had been trying his best to get back to the capital, and had invested all of his savings. But they were not enough. The Qiao family from the capital said that they were in a very crucial situation, and they needed to pay at least 30,000 liang to get through the contract to realize his goal. Otherwise, the deal would be off. Officer Qiao had turned almost mental during this period. He invested so much money in the primary stage, and if the deal was off, all of the previous investment would be gone. He could not stand that. So, he was going to gather 30,000 liang. He and Madame Qiao sold some stuff and collected nearly 10,000 liang. But he had no way to get the remaining 20,000 liang. The couple was really bothered by this. But Madame Qiao came up with the idea that 20,000 liang was nothing for the Yuezheng family. If they could get in touch with the Yuezheng family, they could borrow that amount from them. Officer Qiao was an officer, after all. That was why he decided to make this situation happen. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan knew nothing about this. Qiao Xian would have laughed had she heard that. 30,000 liang? She had 37,000 liang cash in her savings. No, officer father-in-law. Shao Yunduan pretended to be dumb. I can't make this decision. Young Master Yuezheng has to take this call. I can ask young Master Yuezheng's opinion before you send someone to take over. Shao Yunduan was thinking about signing a 15-year contract with Yuezheng Shao so that they could hire a capable manager. Chapter 6:13, Nothing is free in this way. He was going to hire some manager for the tea fields as well. Uncle Erzhu could just be the minor manager. They would not be able to remain in charge of the overall situation. Yuezheng Shao could make the introduction and hire some reliable manager whilst they would foot the bill. Officer Qiao snorted and said, Why the trouble? You can go with the strategist and he is going to tell you how to write the letter. Officer Qiao was panicking inside. He just could not waste any more time. He did not think that if Shao Yunduan made the recommendation to Yuezheng Shao would turn him down. His men were definitely better at managing things. Shao Yunduan could not argue back. So, he forced himself to nod, but issued a warning as well. Okay then. But I can't make the decision for young Master Yuezheng. If he doesn't want to approve of it, one won't change a thing. He liked me so he made me the manager. Maybe because I had found some watermelons for him. There was no free lunch in the world. Yuezheng Shao hired him for some reason. Not everyone was eligible. Otherwise he would have sent someone from his family. Why bother to get some people from Officer Qiao, even if they were suitable or reliable? The Yuezheng family never lacked such talent. Qiao Xian almost wanted to burst into laughter, but she tried to hide her expressions. Officer Qiao understood what Shao Yunduan meant. He snorted in displeasure. Write the letter, leave the rest to others. Officer Qiao seemed quite resolute. They might have an argument soon. So, he decided to drop it here. He would write the letter according to the instructions, but no matter how emotional Officer Qiao might be, Yuezheng Shao would not approve of it. Yuezheng Shao was not a stupid man. Okay. Officer Qiao seemed satisfied. He looked at Qiao Xian as if he had suddenly developed some good feelings towards her. He said quietly, "You can have lunch here on your rare trip, I will let the kitchen." He had meant to say, "We'll let the kitchen do what you like to eat," but he had no idea what Qiao Xian liked to eat. He coughed and changed the words. "I will let the kitchen prepare some more dishes." Qiao Xian did not want to stay for lunch. But she realized that Officer Qiao asked them to stay for lunch just to get close to them. Hence, she had to accept the offer in case he was suspicious about her refusal. "Thanks, father. You should stay here and wait." Officer Qiao nodded and ignored Qiao Xian after that moment. Soon, he got up and left. He was bothered by how to raise money for his career. So, he ignored Qiao Xian totally once the matter was finished. Qiao Xian could sense that he was troubled by something. So, she asked nothing more but chuckled inwardly in her heart. He should be bothered heavily. Qiao Xian asked the maid to pass on her greetings to Madame Qiao. Since she was here, she needed to keep her manners rather than cause trouble. The maid returned fast. "Madame Qiao is busy now," she said. "You don't have to go over to greet her, 2nd Mississippi." That was exactly what Qiao Xian honed for. She showed a look of regret. "Okay, then." The maid threw a disdainful look at her but stayed silent. 2nd Miss wished to suck up to Madame Qiao. She did not deserve to meet her. During lunchtime, Officer Qiao and Madame Qiao did not show up. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were alone. Chapter 614, Stalking Shao Liulang. The meal included 4 dishes with 1 soup. It included bean roast pork, yuba pork belly, green pepper chicken slices, scallion fried egg, and cabbage vermicelli soup. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian were not special guests, so the dishes were not well made. But the ingredients were fresh and ecological, so the food was not that bad when cooked in a big pot. The couple left after lunch. They were going to buy some stuff in town for the rooster and muntjac that she had hunted. They decided to buy some fresh meat to take home. Originally, Qiao Xian planned to kill 2 fat hens that day to make salt-baked chicken and crispy chicken, but she could leave that for later. The 2 of them bought 2 knuckles, a piece of pork belly, 2 tube bones, a pair of pork belly, and a pig heart in the market. They saw fresh mutton for sale and bought a portion of lamb chops. For dinner, half of the lamb chops would be made into sauce, and half would be stewed with fresh mushrooms. A portion of twice-cooked pork would be fried. Pork belly and pig heart would be marinated with spices, and could be eaten anytime during the next 2 days. The knuckles would be put next to the spring water at night to keep it cold, and stewed with yam the next day. Half of it would be used to make a sweet and sour dish. The bone would be used to make porridge at noon, with various mushrooms diced, fresh small river prawns, sprinkled with a handful of shallots. It would be delicious and fragrant. When they finished buying the meat, they were about to fetch the donkey cart when they suddenly saw Shao Liulang heading towards the tea house. Before he went in, he even adjusted his clothes, and stood up straight. Then, he walked forward in confidence. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan exchanged a look at each other, very surprised. Who is he going to meet? So neat and happy. Want to take a look? Qiao Xian was very curious. Shao Liulang was always arrogant. She had never seen him looking so excited and proud. Shao Yunduan thought for a while. We should go and take a look. As for this stuff, they left the meat at the pastry store where they often bought stuff from. Then, they went into the tea house. Shao Yunduan soon got to know from the waiter which room Shao Liulang went into by giving him some money. They went into the room next to it, and held their breath, eavesdropping blatantly. The soundproofing was really bad. Anyways, in this town, there were no private talks. They were here to drink tea in a silent place, not here to pry on others' secrets. So, they did not care if others heard them. Hearing that it was a young woman's laughter, Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian were both very surprised. What was going on? Soon, the woman was trying to ask Shao Liulang about Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan, as well as about the first section of the family. Their hearts sank and they started to concentrate on the conversation. Qiao Xian's eyes brightened after she listened for a while. She approached Shao Yunduan. Got it. That is Zhao Ming, the lady from the Zhao family, who is in a good relationship with Qiao Wei. As Qiao Xian's warm breath floated over his ears and cheeks, Shao Yunduan could not help but blush. He felt a little distracted. He understood that he should not have this kind of reaction, so he pressed down the urge and leaned a bit backward. Are you sure? Chapter 6:15. Zhao Ming's trick. Xiao Xian did not notice what a flirtatious position they were in. She nodded and said, I am sure. I remember this voice. Zhao Ming and Qiao Wei were good friends. So, Qiao Xian did pay attention to her at the banquet. She was not wrong about it. Shao Yunduan nodded with a small okay sound. They were separated by a screen. They were not talking loudly, but they caught a few words, not completely clear ones though. But that was already enough for them to understand what was going on. In summary, Shao Liulang was stupid and had no idea why he thought Zhao Ming would like him. So, Zhao Ming got on a date with him, and he tried to put on a very nice show as a gentleman, trying to win Zhao Ming's heart. But, in fact, Zhao Ming was not interested in him, and instead, kept talking about Shao Yunduan, Qiao Xian and the Zhang village. Shao Liulang was too stupid to realize that something was wrong. He felt really excited and thought that Zhao Ming was falling for him slowly. He became increasingly happy. In order to answer her queries, he made some remarks about his relatives. He did not have much knowledge about the real situation anyways. So, when Zhao Ming could not get anything more out of him, she obviously lost interest. Soon, Zhao Ming found an excuse and left. But he kept trying to offer to escort her back. Obviously, Zhao Ming did not need his help. She teased him and went away. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian heard the sound of footsteps that left the place. Soon, Shao Liulang left as well. He must be in a very good mood as he was humming all this while. What a man. Qiao Xian did not know how to complain about Shao Liulang. He was so stupid. What was more disheartening was that he kept making up bad stories about his relatives in front of outsiders. The first section of the family helped them so much during all these years. The reason why he was able to go to school was because half of the tuition fees were paid by the first section of the family. This was interrupted after Qiao Xian came to the family. Despite so much, Shao Liulang felt no gratitude, and kept making up bad stories about the first section of the family. What a ruthless family. Shao Yunduan was silent for a while, but said eventually, if the Zhao family wants to know about the Zhang village and our fields, it should have been old Master Zhao's men who are doing the prying, not his daughter. It should be Zhao Ming's own ideas. But why? Old Master Zhao did not dare to irritate Yuezheng Shao, and he would not have insisted upon it after knowing the truth. Then, why was Zhao Ming asking about the first section of the family again? Zhao Ming and his family were not enemies, Qiao Xian sneered. Maybe Qiao Wei told her to do so, she was Qiao Wei's follower, but there should not be any reason for Qiao Wei to do so. Shao Yunduan was confused. What was Qiao Wei up to? Officer Qiao's business should not be hers, right? Qiao Xian was not worried. She was already half exposed right now, except that Officer Qiao had no idea how much they had in total. We should be cautious these days. I will tell mom and sisters-in-law that they should be careful about people coming to the door. Those who never hang out with us and suddenly get very passionate should definitely be ignored. Chapter 6:16. Shao Yunduan nodded with a smile. Okay. They could not keep any check on the Zhao family and Shao Liulang at the college. They could only work on their family in case they got disturbed. When they were sure that both Shao Liulang and Zhao Ming had left, Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian decided to go home together. On the way home, Shao Yunduan said, "Darling, one have a hunch that Officer Qiao really wants to befriend the Yuezheng family," and anxiously. Did you notice that? Qiao Xian was surprised. She thought for a while and replied. Yeah, now that you mention it, it does seem like that. He had known about this for a while but did nothing. Yet today, things were different. He must need money and quickly so. That was an easy guess. The Yuezheng family was rich and Officer Qiao needed to get to know them for money, of course. Shao Yunduan said contemplatively, he is working as an officer in this small county. If he needs a small amount of money, he could borrow some from the local business people. But if that is not the case, what does he need so much money for? A few hundreds and thousands of liang should not be difficult to gather, as long as they had a thick skin. He could just ask his strategist to visit some business people who will lend it to him. Any amount more than that would be difficult to obtain though. The county was very small and the businessmen were not very ambitious. They would not just give him so much money, since making money was never an easy thing. A few hundred liang might be really hurtful too, but then they could not get away by offering nothing. He should not have problems regarding money, if he lived normally. But if he suddenly needed a large amount of money and fell into trouble because of that, the whole thing seemed really strange. Qiao Xian was confused. She blinked her eyes. There is something weird, Shao Yunduan thought for a while and said, maybe he needs money to buy an official position. Buying an official position? Shao Yunduan felt that made sense. Yeah, he would need a big amount to buy an official position because of his lack of talent and achievements. It seems that he needs a lot of money, and the position isn't low. Qiao Xian believed that Shao Yunduan was right. But her heart sank instantly. What if he does get the position? We will be crushed. Qiao Xian suddenly felt really scared. If Officer Qiao was just a county magistrate, then Shao Yunduan would be powerful enough after becoming the advanced scholar. Officer Qiao would have to pay attention to Shao Yunduan and try to get him to his side because he was his son-in-law, after all. By that time, Madame Qiao and Xiao Wei would not be able to do anything, with their old master turning to the other side. But if Officer Qiao was promoted, then he may pay attention to Shao Yunduan, yet Madame Qiao and Xiao Wei would definitely try to override them as well. As long as Madame Qiao was given some benefits, people would suck up to her by turning her against her concubine daughter and son-in-law. Once Shao Yunduan became the advanced scholar, Madame Qiao would definitely try to bring them down. Shao Yunduan smiled and consoled his wife. Don't worry, it is not that serious. This is only our speculation. Also, even if we are right about it, things are not that easy to happen. Moreover, even if he makes it, it would still take a long while before he finds his feet on the ground. By that time, it might be time for the spring examination. Chapter 6:17, Home, Sweet Home. Also, we can ask the Yuezheng family and the Xia family for help. We can return that favor later. The Yuezheng family were connected with them, and their relationship was very close to each other. Moreover, the Xia family should be willing to help the advanced scholar who had a promising future, right? As long as he could stand out and let the Xia family appreciate his value, he would not fall into despair. The Xia family was far more promising than the Qiao family, no matter which position Officer Qiao found for himself. It would not be easy to return the favor, so they would rather not use it. But Shao Yunduan was not a pretentious man. If he needed to use the contact, he would. He would return the favor double-fold in the future. Hearing his analysis, Qiao Xian suddenly felt better. She smiled. I'll feel much more assured hearing your words. Shao Yunduan smiled. Don't need to overthink about this. You can be the honest and quiet concubine's daughter, and leave the rest to me. Qiao Xian chuckled and nodded. Shao Yunduan smiled and felt warmth in heart. He was going to become stronger so that he could protect his wife. His earlier dream had been to brighten up his family, but it became bigger now. They returned home and Nis. Fong asked. Everything all right? Miss Fong had witnessed too many cold and warm things in interpersonal relationships, for example the behavior of the second and the third section of the family. When she knew that Officer Qiao never liked Xiao Xian, but asked them to come over suddenly, Miss Fong knew that something bad was going to happen. She had been so worried. Xiao Xian answered with a smile. Don't worry, they just wanted to ask my husband about the autumn examination. Father needs some help in the government office. Oh, okay. Miss Fong didn't know any better and simply believed in what Xiao Xian said. Shao Yunduan did not deny it and smiled. That was the end of the matter. Xiao Xian took a nap and asked Yang Xiaoni and Tao Tao to get ready for dinner. Soon it was bustling in the kitchen, and delicious dishes were getting cooked, fragrant. That was what a family should be like. The next day, Xiao Xian had all the seedlings transplanted. Everyone turned to look at the strange-looking banana seedlings, sugarcane seedlings, and pineapple seedlings. They were all growing so well. Our spring really breeds plants well. Look at how good those trees are. Yeah, the fruits should be tasty too. Xiao Xian smiled. Hopefully, they will turn out to be delicious. She turned to look at lychees and longans that normally grew in the south. All had budded and the tallest one was already 3 inches tall. That was really fast. People in the south would get startled by the pace at which it grew. Normally, the buds would not have sprouted until a week later, let alone growing to this height. Xiao Xian let it happen faster because no one else in the family knew about it. Chapter 6:18. Xiao Xian's plan. These seedlings were tender and young, very cute and full of vitality. Even though they were still small, they looked quite different from the common fruit tree seedlings in the north. Everyone else, including Tao Tao, found them to be rare and fresh. Xiao Xian decided to visit them once a day and infuse some superpower in them to help them grow. The seedlings would grow to be what they should have been like in 3 or 4 years within 1 year's time. In this way, they should bloom and bear fruit the next year most probably. Xiao Xian could wait at most 1 year to see if such plants worked. If not, she would give up the idea. But if this experiment worked, she would buy more fields and plant a large fruit garden so she could offer special tropical fruits to the market, earning a lot of money out of it. That would be nice. If that did not work, she could find a chance to head down south with Shao Yunduan. She would place a lot of tropical fruits into her space, like longans, lychees, and mangoes, all for her to eat anytime. She was really greedy for them. She could wait until the magical water in her space reached a certain thickness, then the space would accept ordinary plants as well. After that, she could start to grow those ordinary plants in her space as well. Well, the space would not be unlimited, but hundreds of mu should be enough, right? Or even thousands of mu. One small farmland for herself, that would feel so nice. Xiao Xian had planned out everything. After this day, they continued to make lipsticks with new colors and went to the river to get shrimps, or hunt animals in the mountains. Every day seemed leisurely and peaceful. Shao Dalong's legs recovered finally. He had recovered to be able to do some heavy work, but not continuously for the first half a year. The whole family was so happy that this worry was finally gone. Ms. Su unexpectedly gave Xiao Xian 5 liang and asked her to make a table full of dishes as a celebration. Xiao Xian tried to turn away the money. But Ms. Su insisted that it was their kindness, and that Xiao Xian needed to accept it. Xiao Xian only kept 2 liang and said with a smile, 5 liang is too much, we would not be able to finish the food. 1 chicken costs 50 or 60 yuan and half a kilo of pork belly would cost just 15 or 16 yuan. We won't be able to finish anything more than that. 2 liang would be more than enough. She insisted on giving back 3 liang, which Ms. Su accepted in the end. She added, Tu Liang is all yours, fifth sister-in-law. You have to cook for us, and I would feel really embarrassed if you don't take it. She was pregnant, and could not do any work. Her husband's illness was treated with the shared money and no one countered that. So, Ms. Su felt really moved. Qiao Xian accepted the money eventually with a smile. The remaining money would be used to buy some small snacks for everyone to eat. Qiao Xian made 9 dishes and 1 soup with Tu Liang, including salt-baked chicken, crispy chicken, as well as stewed duck with taro, stewed lion head, fish and sheep pot, ginkgo pork belly soup, and salted egg yolk tofu soup. Chapter 6:19, Not paying back. Xiao Xian used fresh and tender, soaked pea shoots, and stir-fried them on a plate. The fresh green color, fresh and tender taste made people never want to stop eating them. Miss Fong was gratified and happy seeing the table full of dishes. Miss Fong actually suspected that she had misheard the news when Miss Su decided to offer money from her own pocket. After all, she was Ms. Zu's mother-in-law and she had seen through her long ago. Miss Fong was feeling very emotional about the days that became better and better. Those bad and small tricks were all gone. Not everyone was as annoying and ungrateful as the second and third section of the family. Miss Fong would agree if she knew the basic principle of the modern world: money could solve 80% of the troubles in life. But she knew that she needed to support her son and daughter-in-law to keep making money so that life could get better and better. Also, it was all Qiao Xian's luck that helped. At the Qiao mansion. On the day when Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan left, Officer Qiao could not wait but hired someone to deliver the letter written by Shao Yunduan directly to the province. He ordered that the letter had to arrive in Yuezheng Shao's hands on the following day. According to Officer Qiao's plan, Yuezheng Shao should agree to his proposal. After all, it was always better to have some professionals to manage the land and fields for him. As long as Yuezheng Shao agreed to it, Officer Qiao would wait for a few days and then go over to meet Yuezheng Shao, so that he could coax Yuezheng Shao and borrow 30,000 liang from him. Officer Qiao would give the money for the position he needed, and when he was back in the capital, he would start to earn enough money. It was not going to be easy to make 30,000 liang within a short while, but he did not think that the Yuezheng family would need this amount anyways. So, he never planned to pay back the money. By that time, the Yuezheng family would not really bother to go to the capital to get the money back. Besides, if he got promoted and soon won a high-ranked position, he would return the Yuezheng family a favor in the end. Officer Qiao had everything arranged in his head. He was very confident. Yuezheng Shao had just received the regular lipsticks and limited versions of lipsticks from Qiao Xian. He was selling them out slowly. 5 sets of limited versions had been sold out, and 5 more families had already reserved the 3 minor sets, which made him feel really happy. The remaining 5 sets would arrive very soon. But Yuezheng Shao got very confused seeing the letter sent by Shao Yunduan. He was sure that it was written by Shao Yunduan, which made him feel even more confused. He ordered someone to bring over the messenger and after a few questions, he understood what was going on. Wearing no expression on his face, Yuezheng Shao ordered the messenger to take a break. And then, he smiled sinisterly. He saw through the situation quickly. Officer Qiao needed money desperately. He was trying to suck up to him urgently because he needed nothing else but money, maybe lots of it. But he would not give out money so easily. Instead of answering the letter, he thought for a while and called over a trusted servant. He appointed him to be the manager for the land at the Zhang village. Shao Yunduan could not do anything to his father-in-law. Then, he would deal away with him for his friend's sake. He did not need Shao Yunduan to be in charge of the tea fields. He had a suitable manager who could do that for him and he was going to send that man there. That manager would not travel with the messenger. He ordered Chu Shan to send the messenger home first. Chapter 6:20, Distressed. The messenger did not want to leave. He smiled and asked about a reply. Chu Shan smirked and replied. Our young master has his own plan. He never writes replies. Young master never wants to leave any trace of his writing outside, in case some trouble comes to his doorstep. Our young master has never written anything to your second Miss husband either. He only passes on messages. So, you can just pass on this message to your master. Speechless, the messenger had to leave with the oral reply. He could not make the decision for young Master Yuezheng. Also, Xuan was right. The Yuezheng family was so rich, and the old masters and young masters of the family would not leave any trace of their writing outside the family so easily. Without any delay, the messenger returned to the town before lunch the next day. Officer Qiao, who had been so anxious, summoned him directly. "Where is the reply? Give it to me." The messenger stiffened and staggered slightly. "Sorry, officer, but young Master Yuezheng has sent no reply." "What?" "Young Master Yuezheng says that he already knows about this matter and he has already got his own plan, which he is going to conduct in a few days. Since you urged him, he will start to implement that now. Young Master Yuezheng's men should be coming over in a few days, and they will tell you clearly what is going on." Officer Qiao's head turned blank. He had no reaction for a long while. He sensed that something was wrong. So, he interrogated him and asked for more details. The messenger did not know anything more. He had just met young Master Yuezheng once and did not even exchange many words with him. Without getting any valuable information, Officer Qiao got even more annoyed, snapping at the messenger. "You useless thing, you can't even do one mission well." Then, he ordered him to leave. The messenger felt relieved. How could that be possible? Officer Qiao felt so distressed and he went to Madame Qiao to complain. Madame Qiao frowned and asked firstly, "Old master, are you sure that Shao Yunduan wrote what you told him to? Did he write anything that should not have been written in there? Did he turn them against us?" Officer Qiao was startled, but soon shook his head. "That is impossible. The strategist already wrote the draft and Shao Yunduan copied it. Also, he examined the final draft, and I had the letter delivered on the same day. If Shao Yunduan wanted to do something bad in the middle, he would not have managed to reach there before us. Also, one don't think he would dare to. Moreover, young Master Yuezheng might not believe his words." Madame Qiao agreed. Young Master Yuezheng and Shao Yunduan were totally different people, with a huge gap in their rank. Shao Yunduan was never going to be able to turn the two parties against each other. That would be so ridiculous. "Old master, your proposal was beneficial for young Master Yuezheng and he should not have not turned that down. Well, now that he already has a plan, then, there is no way out." Madame Qiao sighed and felt distressed too. They still needed more than 20,000 liang, and they had almost used up every treasure they had. She had not even made any new clothes this spring like before, when she would get new clothes every season. She lived frugally and only had 2 sets for her daughter, who had been vehemently objecting to it. They could not even afford any ornaments and even had to save on new cosmetics. Chapter 621, Desperate Officer Zhao. Still, all these measures were not enough. What would they do now? The couple became even more distressed. If they had no money to buy the official position, they would have no chance to head back to the capital, and they would have wasted everything they spent in the past. Wish one could make a huge fortune. Officer Qiao complained. Madame Qiao snorted. What was the point of saying that now? How about waiting for young Master Yuezheng's men? Maybe we can write an IOU to that manager? Officer Qiao did not think that such a method was reliable. He and young Master Yuezheng were not friends and his family wasn't under the charge of a county magistrate like him. The Yuezheng family was too rich and influential for a county magistrate like him to offend. He just could not do that. Moreover, he could not be sure that it would work. Let's just wait and see. He might give it a try if nothing else came to fruition. Yuezheng Shao was worried that if his men arrived a little late, that shameless county magistrate would cause trouble to Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian, so he ordered the manager and page boys to reach there the next day. The manager did not go to visit Officer Qiao, and only sent a few words through the strategist, who tried to console Officer Qiao. Then, he headed directly to the Zhang village. He would live at the Zhang village, and act as the new manager. He asked Ding Erzhu to deliver the letter to Shao Yunduan explaining the matter. Shao Yunduan and Xiao Xian were really grateful after receiving the assurance from the manager of the Yuezheng family. Shao Yunduan was devoted towards the last leg of preparation for the autumn examination. He was very confident that he would make it. But he could not just relax. It was related to his future, and he could not have a laid-back attitude about it or show no respect. Hearing the news from the strategist, Officer Qiao felt so annoyed. He sneered. The Yuezheng family is so wild. When I reach the highest rank in the government, I am going to take revenge on them. The Yuezheng family's men did not bother visiting him because they did not want to get close to the Qiao family. This ruined Officer Qiao's plan of borrowing money. So, he got really annoyed. He just could not go straight to the Yuezheng family to borrow money, could he? That would be belittling and humiliating for him. It would not make sense either. But Officer Qiao needed money desperately for the errand in the capital, and it could not be delayed. He turned to Madame Qiao. You should go through what we have now so that we can sell those things and gather some more money. Madame Qiao was displeased. Old master, we have offered everything we could already. You know that. Officer Qiao sneered. Stop lying to me. I know everything about your private money. You must dedicate your money to the family in this situation. Madame Qiao was annoyed and embarrassed. She pressed down the anger she was feeling. Old master, you are wrong. I have never hidden any private money. I am simply saving a few things for my son and wife's dowry. Also, I am doing this for your sake, old master. Officer Qiao realized that his behavior was overbearing a moment ago. So, he calmed himself down and said, I was wrong. But you should give the money now so that I can get a high position in the capital. At that time, I will pay you back in double. Chapter 622, Empty. Madame Qiao knew that was how it should be. If she could give something up now, she would obtain more in the future in return. Will try my best. Madame Qiao had some jade and a few favored ornaments pressed at the bottom of her boxes. She got them pawned in the province. The pawn shops were all very stingy. Anything worth more than 100 liang would only be pawned at 30%, not fetching more than 30 liang. Also, if the person pawning wanted to get them back, the fees would be raised multiple times. Even if she chose to give them as fixed goods, the things would fetch 70% at most, mostly 50%. Madame Qiao's ornaments and jadeware should be worth around 13,000 liang, but after pawning, she only got 7,600 liang in total. When the money and the invoices were brought back, Madame Qiao felt her chest ache. She felt so distressed. She tried to console herself that everything was worth the while, as long as she was able to get back to the capital. Once they were back in the capital, her husband would be in the high position and her daughter would marry into the home mansion, but Madame Qiao still felt really annoyed by the current loss. When she felt annoyed, she was going to make someone else feel equally upset as she was. Get whatever is saved in concubine Dust's place as well. Get all the gold, money, and jade. I have offered everything, but she does nothing. Madame Qiao asked Auntie Ling to do so. Auntie Ling loved making trouble for concubines and their daughters. She nodded and went to carry out the order with some maids. They rushed to concubine Dust's place. Concubine Du almost passed out because of anger. That was totally reasonable. Shame on them. She knew that the old master needed a lot of money, so she did not and could not stop the search. Otherwise Madame Qiao would torment her in all possible ways. She was growing old and she was not like before. So, she could not turn to the old master for help. The old master was not going to defend her. Most importantly, her daughter's marriage depended on Madame Qiao. Concubine Du felt her heart dripping blood. When she knew that Madame Qiao had offered everything she had, she and Xiao Ko even laughed at her in secret. But now it was their turn. Auntie Ling was fast and straightforward, leaving nothing with concubine Du. Even the 300 liang under concubine Dust's bed was fished out. Auntie Ling harvested a lot and left the place proudly. Concubine Du almost collapsed as she looked at her room later. She started to cry. Madame Qiao was doing a count of what they had got. The whole thing was worth 1,340 liang. She got so furious and cursed through clenched teeth. This bitch has stolen so much from old master under my nose. Damn her. Auntie Ling consoled her with a smile. But now you have retrieved everything. Don't worry, Madam Qiao. Madam Qiao sneered. Of course. All of this is mine. Hearing the news, Qiao Ko hurried back to concubine Du's place. She saw a distressed, tearful concubine Du as well as a messy room. Concubine Du, what is going on? Chapter 623, Madame Qiao killed her future concubine. Du took her hands, sobbing. Everything is gone, gone. She is so cruel. She spared nothing, nothing was left for us. All the money, even as small as 20 pennies, was scraped away by the maids. She even lost 1 box of blusher. Xiao Ko's heart sank. She went about and searched everywhere. Then, she lost hope. She collapsed. Those things should have been hers. She had always been proud that though she was also a concubine's daughter, she was far different from disgraced Qiao Xian. Even her dowry would be worth at least 1,000 liang. She used to think that she would have a great martial life with 1,000 liang as her dowry. Also, that was the bare minimum. As long as her mother was alive, she could also flatter her father so the dowry could only become better. Also, her mother would have saved some more in 2 years. That was why she had been so confident all along. For those things, she was willing to flatter Qiao Wei, make her happy. But she had nothing left now. Shame on her. Qiao Ko sobbed. She is the madam of the family and she even scrapes out everything from a concubine's room. How could she? Stop it now. Concubine Du was shocked, covering Qiao Ko's mouth as she glanced around anxiously. Ko, no such words here. If she learns about this, we will have a terrible time. Qiao Ko cursed. Are we having a good time now? All of her savings were gone. She was going to get married 2 or 3 years after Qiao Wei got married. She was sure that Madame Qiao was not going to take care of her. But her mother was a concubine, who had no chance to start saving any more. What was she going to do in the future? What should she do? Madame Qiao had killed her future. Concubine Du sobbed. Don't be impulsive. Don't worry, I will think of a way for you. Qiao Ko felt slightly relieved but still remained annoyed. I can't accept it. Concubine Du was silent. She was unconvinced as well. But what more could she do? Forget about this when you step out of the room. We can't get those things back now, but if we turn ourselves into their enemies, it is not worth it, right? Qiao Ko nodded at concubine Du, letting out a sigh. Don't worry, I know that. Qiao Ko had a new goal at that moment. She was going to steal Qiao Wei's groom. She was definitely going to do so. Qiao Wei was brainless, arrogant and impulsive. More importantly, she looked down at her and ordered her around as if she were her maid. So, Qiao Wei did not have the heart to stay loyal towards her. As long as she had the plan in her mind, she was going to steal Qiao Wei's groom. Qiao Ko smirked and sneered in silence. They could wait until they went back to the capital. She was surely going to take revenge. Chapter 624, Tall Fruit Trees. Madame Qiao sneered at concubine Du and Qiao Ko's misery after she got their properties. She completely ignored their emotions. Qiao Wei learned about it too and even mocked them. In their eyes, the concubine and her daughter were just like servants for them to bully around. The concubine and the daughter would not be able to do anything in retaliation. Madame Qiao had no time to spare any more energy on the concubine and the daughter. She scraped again and got more than 7,000 liang in total. But that was still not enough. They had got everything they could offer, but they had the target of 10,000 liang. Actually, they would need at least 15,000 liang if they wanted to live well in the capital. Officer Qiao got so annoyed that he fell sick. The couple were really worked up but could not come up with any useful method. They were in a terrible mood and even argued with each other a few times. Meanwhile, in the first section of the Shao family, the fruit trees that Xiao Xian had planted were growing very well. The bananas were nearly taller than she was. The lychee and the mango trees were getting as thick as a finger and as tall as 1 meter. They were placed in a neat order in the empty place of the garden. Due to the hot weather, the mushrooms, wooden ears and snow fungus were growing very fast too. The family picked some and sun-dried them in the yard. When this batch was sun-dried, they could deliver it to the province. They would even send the lipsticks to Yuezheng Shao at that time, so that Yuezheng Shao was saved the trouble of sending anyone over. The dried snow fungus weighed around 50 kilograms, and was of the best quality. Qiao Xian could easily sell them at 30 liang per 500 grams. They were going to earn at least 6,000 liang on this deal. That was such a pleasing thing. Seeing the tender vegetables growing in the garden, Qiao Xian had a plan of making rice rolled in lettuce. As the name suggested, rice rolled in lettuce meant wrapping the fried rice with fresh and tender lettuce leaves. It should be eaten when hot. It had both the aroma of the food and the freshness of the lettuce. It was hot inside and cool outside, and tasted great. This fried rice was not as simple as the ordinary fried rice with eggs, and the condiments were very rich. They included chopped bacon, diced fresh meat, diced bamboo shoots, diced mushrooms, minced leeks, minced pickles, minced eggs, etc. Some seasoning needed to be added, after which the ingredients would be stir-fried and added to the cooled rice. Finally, a spoonful of meat oil needed to be put in, making it taste better. After the stir-fry was done, they put it on the table in a large steaming bowl. They could scoop up a spoonful of it while it was still hot, and wrap it in fresh and tender lettuce leaves. They could eat it like a wrap of roasted pork belly. It was tasty and they could make it themselves easily. When the dish was served, Tao Tao, Qi and Shao Sanlang as well as his foodie wife loved it. Qiao Xian enjoyed the texture, and thought that she should have made this earlier. She was going to seriously plan what to make in the future. She had money, time as well as efficient helpers. The following day, Qi and Tao Tao caught a lot of snails and came back to cook half of them as snacks. The small ones were fed to the ducks. Qiao Xian picked some more and added lemon juice, basil, dried chili and so on to make an old duck snail pot. Chapter 625, Expansion soon. It was the time for the Dragon Boat Festival. Qiao Xian decided to deliver the presents to the Qiao mansion. On the way back, they were going to talk with the land agent who could talk with the land officer about buying a piece of land at the entrance of the village for mushrooms, especially for snow fungus. The place in the garden was not enough. They decided to hire Shao Dali to find a few honest men from the village, who could help the couple to sort through the ingredients. They would be paid 35 won a day. Shao Dali was very glad to accept the proposal. He got his cousins along and they managed to get 7 people in total. They picked a day and went to the Qiao family to send the presents. They had the same presents as last year, nothing new, no kindness, just a mission. Neither Officer Qiao nor Madame Qiao were seen at the mansion. Qiao Wei was gone too. Qiao Ko could not be seen anywhere and concubine Du was missing as well. The maids told them to leave after giving the presents. It was a very strange atmosphere in the mansion. Qiao Xian wanted to leave as soon as possible but she was very surprised too. Anyways, she did not care what was going on in the mansion, as long as there was no trouble coming to her. Shao Yunduan believed that he was right. Officer Qiao not only needed a lot of money, he needed it urgently. When their master was angry, the servants did not dare utter a sound. But Officer Qiao did not turn to him and Qiao Xian for help after what happened last time. It seemed that he did not have much hope in them. Good, the couple went to the land agent and soon bought the land. They finished the deal within 2 days. It was a barren land of 8 mu, located close to the village entrance. Those in the village did not talk about this any longer. They did not think that it was anything new. It was the right time to cultivate snow fungus. Qiao Xian soon hired villagers to work on flattening the land. They were going to build a huge wall with bricks, as tall as 3 meters, which would be out of the reach of any ladder. In the end, they built rows of sheds for mushrooms, whilst the ground was built on bricks, easy to handle and not prone to getting any mud in. They were going to build a storage house and tool house. They needed a storage house to store dried snow fungus and a tool house to store those tools, like dustpans, baskets, and cleaves. Qiao Xian did not intend to make a big fuss about it. Snow fungus were different from other mushrooms. Only rich people were able to eat those expensive things. If the secret was revealed, they would have a lot of trouble. They were not capable enough to bring the whole village to become rich. They would draw a lot of jealousy and calculation from peers. 15 people were hired to dig the land, including Shao Sanlang and Shao Dalang, who worked there as the supervisors. They were paid 35 won a day as well. They needed professionals to build the wall and house, and they needed laborers as well. They were all in the same team. It would take 20 days or so to finish the project, and it should cost less than half a liang. The workers were all very happy. Widow Sun, who had not been seen for ages, squeezed through the crowd and watched the show. Hearing how the villagers spoke highly of the first section of the family, she felt very sour. Chapter 626, Jealousy. She regretted that she had not agreed to Ding Qingqing's proposal of marrying Shao Yunduan. Now, she was forced to deal with Ding Zhao's wife, being his concubine, and was living a terrible life. She could not stand it anymore, when she saw how well the Shao family was doing right now. This should have been her life. All of this should have been hers. Widow Sun snapped at Qiao Xian, forcing a smile. Yunduan's wife, your life is getting better and better. You buy fields every year. Where do you get this much money? Do you have any ways of making money? Share that with us as well. We are all living in the village, and you should take care of us, right? You eat meat, and you can at least share some meat soup with us, no? We are all grateful people, you know. We will pay you back. What Widow Sun said drew some agreement from the bystanders. Some of them even seemed quite expectant. Yeah, teach us how to live a good life, all right? Maybe they really have some ways of making money. Otherwise, where did they get this much money? That seems true. But they don't seem to be engaged in anything. Maybe we can listen to their story? They won't tell you, otherwise you will become a competitor. But we are in the same village, aren't we? Hee hee. Seeing many people nodding at what she said, Widow Sun sneered. See, Yunduan's wife, we all want to hear the truth. Qiao Xian smiled. Who do you think you are that I have to obey what you say? I am going to ask my mother-in-law if she agrees to your demand. Many people laughed in the crowd. Widow Sun was the concubine of the former land officer. Right now, Ding Zhao's wife and she were in the midst of a big fight and everyone was gossiping about it. Qiao Xian was right. Who did Widow Sun think she was? How dare she confront the county magistrate's daughter, who was also the wife of a cultivated talent? No one dared to take Widow Sun's side when Miss Fong was mentioned. Miss Fong was not simple to deal with. It was never easy to figure out how others made money. Widow Sun turned so pale as she shivered. You are looking down at us. The richer the people are, the more stingy they are. Qiao Xian's words poked her right in her wound. Qiao Xian blinked. We are not rich people. Also, why stingy and bad? Tell me. Or I'll tell my mother-in-law, who can ask people in your family what you mean. Why am I stingy, when I am telling the truth? Widow Sun was so annoyed. Qiao Xian sank her face. Say it. If you don't say it clearly, one will never accept you accusing me of things I didn't do in front of so many people. Widow Sun was shivering. She almost suffocated. Ding Zhao had been obsessed with her, and he told her some sweet words. But she was blamed in the end because he thought that she had caused him to lose the land officer position. Chapter 627, Deserve Now. Ding Zhao kept cursing and hitting her whenever he thought of this matter. Miss Qiao did not even treat her as a human being. Even her daughter was treated like a maid, and she did not even dare cry. She she regretted it so much. If Qiao Xian, Ms. Fang, and the Shao family went to her husband's home to cause trouble, she would be tormented again by Miss Qiao. Widow Sun felt dreadful at the thought. She was frightened and held a deep grudge towards Qiao Xian. But she regretted her impulsive behavior. She should have stayed silent. Qiao Xian could tell that she was scared. But she still showed a calm look on her face, though she was sneering inwardly. If you try to create a rumor, you need to apologize. Widow Sun opened her mouth. She really could not make an apology. Especially to Qiao Xian. That was like a slap right across her face. Still, she understood her situation. Widow Sun closed her eyes and said, "Sorry, I should not have said that." Qiao Xian did not want to show harshness in front of others. She smiled and said, "Elle will let you go, since you apologized. But you should watch out what you say next time. Accusing others for things they don't do is a bad virtue." Widow Sun's face sank and she clenched her teeth in anger. But she did not dare offend Qiao Xian again. It was too late though. Miss Qiao arrived there in anger. She glared at Widow Sunday, "You lazy, greedy bitch. I am so busy at home whilst you are watching a show here. Get home now, or you will have no food tonight." Widow Sun was so annoyed that she almost wanted to hit Miss Qiao to death. This evil bitch. But she did not dare to. She was just a concubine, who was married in a very humiliating way. Miss Qiao was the mistress of the family and she could do whatever she wanted to her. People were looking at her. Widow Sun was so angry and humiliated, that she dashed off with her head lowered. What a pitiful woman. Yeah. It was her fault for having done such a humiliating thing. Yeah, she asked for it. Although there seemed to be a fig leaf over her affair, and the explanation seemed really reasonable, everyone understood what was going on. It was just some gossip in the whole village that no one liked to talk about. They sighed, exchanged opinions and went home when it was time to make dinner. The crowd dispersed eventually. Qiao Xian checked the place, spoke a few words and went home too. She did not feel sorry for Widow Sunday. Widow Sun did not deserve her compassion. But for her superpower, Shao Dalong's leg would have been done. If it wasn't for Ms. Yan, who eavesdropped on their conversation and told her and Shao Yunduan about it, no one would have foreseen that it was a conspiracy. They were Widow Sun's enemies, and maybe she and the former land officer would have gotten them killed someday. This woman was evil and it served her right to be treated like this. Miss Qiao was the right person who could bring her down. Chapter 628, Not Two Owners at the Qiao Mansion. Officer Qiao and Madame Qiao were very distressed and kept sighing for the lack of money. They started with an amiable discussion, but soon the discussion developed into an argument. The whole backyard was filled with anger and darkness. In the end, Madame Qiao came up with an idea. How about borrowing some money from those rich families again? Officer Qiao was startled. He already did it once. Otherwise his coffers would have been empty ages ago. Officer Qiao did not think that it was good for his reputation if he turned to them again. It was not a very good thing if a county magistrate borrowed money from locals. It would turn him into a joke. He had chosen 5 very rich, not tricky families when he borrowed the money for the first time. He got 1,000 liang from each of them. They were nice families, but they were not very happy when they had to fork out so much money to the county magistrate. If he turned to them again, if he ran to them again, it would be unreasonable, and his reputation would be ruined among all the rich families. The fewer people knew about it, the better. 1,000 liang was already a lot of money. If he borrowed 1,000 liang again, that was still not enough. He needed to find some more families to help him gather the amount. Officer Qiao felt really uncomfortable thinking that his name would be ruined. Madame Qiao sneered seeing his confused face. Reputation? His reputation was worth no money. His reputation could not be worthwhile compared to his future prospects. Madame Qiao did not want to give up now, especially since they had invested so much in this position. Old master, your future is more important. Think about this, if you can be higher in the position, the reputation is nothing. She continued coaxing him. Also, when you step into a higher position, you can return the money to them, and it would be their luck to be related to you at that time. They would be so happy about it. Officer Qiao nodded, and he gradually felt better. True. As long as I attain a high position in the capital, I will have enough money. I can return the loaned amount to them by that time. Also, nothing else mattered if the future was promising. More importantly, if all worked well, he could be back to the capital by the end of spring. He did not have to stay here for one more year. Then, he would not need to worry about being laughed at. Soon, he would be away from this place. That is it. Officer Qiao made up his mind to do so. The rich families, including Old Master Zhao, were all shocked. They had just lent out 1,000 liang. They still had to give more this time. They would not ask him to return the money since he was county magistrate. So, they never held any expectations that the money would be returned. But that was 1,000 liang. Even rich families like Old Master Zhao were not happy to have it in other people's hands, let alone to someone who would never return it. The old masters gathered together, exchanging some thoughts with each other. What is wrong with Officer Qiao? He wants 1,000 liang again. I don't have this much money. Someone broke the silence and started to complain. Yeah, I only have fields, not cash. Chapter 629, Old Master Zhao's Bitterness, 1,000 earlier and 1,000 again now? That is just, sigh. We don't have this much cash, either. What should we do? We don't earn much money easily, right? The county magistrate's behavior is over the top. What should we do? The sighing and complaints stopped when the question was raised by someone. They all turned to Old Master Zhao with an inquiring look. His was one of the top rich families, and the Zhao family had a close relationship with the county magistrate. Old Master Zhao smiled bitterly. He was feeling even more wronged in his heart. While the others lent out 1,000 liang, he had to loan out 1,500 liang. When the others were asked for 1,000 this time, the strategist asked him to offer 2,000 liang instead. He was so annoyed and almost spat out blood. What should we do? He is an officer. Also, he is just borrowing, someone sneered. That is just an excuse. We all know that the money can't ever be returned. Yeah, but who dares say that out loud? Everyone became silent. Old Master Zhao sighed. Let's just gather the money and send it to Officer Qiao. We can't really fight with the officers, you know. We should take a step back. Besides, Officer Qiao has never asked to borrow money from us before. He must be in real trouble in recent times. True. They nodded, sighed and shook their heads. They had to give the money. Officer Qiao was not a greedy officer, but he was not a nice man. When he asked for something, they had to give it out obediently. Soon, Old Master Zhao gathered 2,000 liang and had it delivered. The others also tried to collect the money. Some even secretly sold out a few valuable things and managed to get 1,000 liang. Some families had to offer the money, since everyone else did. They did not dare to make any complaints. Officer Qiao sorted out the money and went into the capital with his trusted man. He felt so glad to have this load off his mind. You are smart. The money problem is settled. Madame Qiao let out a sigh of relief as well. She smiled. Elle will do anything I can, for your sake, old master. He said emotionally, our family will flourish with you next to me. I will definitely earn you a great title in the future. Madame Qiao liked to hear this kind of promise. Thank you very much for that, old master. You deserve it. Fearing that Officer Qiao would ask for some more money, Old Master Zhao left home and went traveling. He was not planning to return home within half a year. As long as he was absent, his son could not make the decision, which could be used as the excuse to turn down any new request. The Qiao family had offered the Zhao family much convenience. But the Qiao family got 3,500 liang from the Zhao family, not including other attributes. That seemed like a huge loss for the Zhao family after all. Old Master Zhao felt very annoyed and uncomfortable as well. Seeing that old Master Zhao was gone, the other families also realized what was going on. They went traveling as well. Almost everyone from the Zhao family learned about how the Qiao family asked for the money from them. They felt so uncomfortable. They all believed that Officer Qiao treated them differently. They even bragged about hanging out together. But this behavior was such a slap on their faces. Officer Qiao asked them for far more money than he did from other families. Zhao Ming was especially annoyed. She had been treating Qiao Wei so nicely and even helped Qiao Wei find some information about Qiao Xian secretly. But now, she was not going to tell Qiao Wei anything anymore. Chapter 630, to the weak in fact, she was going to vent her anger on Qiao Xian. That was a very strange logic. When someone offended a person who was more powerful and could not take revenge on that person, one would definitely try to bully those who were weaker, just to vent the anger. The brave attacked the strong, and the timid attacked the weak. That was what happened in the society. It was the same as in the case of those who had a bad time in their life but vented their anger at those children in the kindergarten and primary school. Zhao Ming felt annoyed by Qiao Wei, but she only dared to curse her in her heart. She did not dare set up Qiao Wei or take revenge on her. But she was going to pick on Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian was also Officer Qiao's daughter. Officer Qiao was so annoying, so his daughter should bear the responsibility. The more she thought about this, the angrier Zhao Ming felt. So, she found some time and headed directly to Shouting village. When she arrived, the house for snow fungus had been built. Zhao Ming turned to the coachman and sneered. "This is by Qiao Xian again? Interesting, what is it exactly? It is not a house, right? But this showed Qiao Xian did have some money, no? Otherwise she would not be able to afford to build these. They had a big residential house and also dozens of mu fields. There should be more than 100 mu of field in total, right? Those fields were not worth more than good fields, but together, it would add up to something, after all." Zhao Ming suddenly came up with an idea. She thought about taking Qiao Xian's belongings since the Qiao family forced the Zhao family to offer money. These fields were not valuable, but she was going to get them. For her family's sake. Although she did not think this little thing would be worth much, at least she would feel better. The villagers were used to seeing wagons heading towards the first section of the Shao family, so Zhao Ming's arrival did not attract any attention. It was Lixia who opened the door. She was startled. "Who are you?" Zhao Ming did not care about a small maid. But did this mean that they could afford to hire servants now? That was surprising. She could not help but spare a few glances at Lixia. She felt even more annoyed. Lixia behaved so well and she did not seem like a cheap, stupid servant. Almost as good as her own. Qiao Rong asked. "Is this cultivated talent Shao Yunduan and Miss Qiao's home?" Lixia nodded. "It is. Good. Our lady is here to talk with them," Qiao Rong said, as she was about to walk in with Zhao Ming. Lixia frowned. She did not stop them but shut the door, instead of letting the coachman walk in. This lady did not seem to be her mistress friend. She looked so bad-tempered. She could not stop her, but she could at least shield her from coming into the yard. The first section of the Shao family was very busy at this time. Qiao Xian and a few girls were working very hard in the flower fields. Apart from Shao Yunduan who was studying at home, only Ms. Fong and Ms. Su were home, taking care of the children with Lixia. Ms. Fong heard the noise and walked out. She sized up Zhao Ming. Chapter 631, Ojao Xian's money. Lixia walked forward and bowed to Ms. Fong. "Madam Shao, this lady is asking for Miss Qiao." She could not stop her. She did not dare stop her mistress friend. But she hesitated for just 1 second, which allowed Zhao Ming to walk in with her servants. "Oh, you are here to look for Miss Qiao." Miss Fang noticed Zhao Ming sizing up the house and looking at the way she reacted. She believed that Zhao Ming was not here to chat with Miss Qiao. But she had not done anything so far, so she just smiled and asked. What is your name? Qiao Rong said arrogantly, It is Lady Zhao. Okay, Lady Zhao, come to the house and take a seat. Liulang, go and fetch Miss Qiao. Miss Fang greeted her with a smile. Liulang rushed to the flower field in the backyard. Zhao Ming walked in and saw the nice furniture made with good wood. These were not precious, but definitely not cheap either. The yard was bigger than other farmer families' homes, and there were some other yards as well. The floor was covered with bricks. An ordinary family could not have afforded this. She saw the flowers too. There were hydrangeas, peonies, and magnolias. The glazed windows surprised her. Those were not cheap at all. Those large glazed windows let in the light, and this was not an easy piece of work. Qiao Xian did it, right? These countryside people should have heard of anything like glazed windows. Where did Qiao Xian get this much money? Zhao Ming believed that Qiao Xian must have offered her dowry so the first section of the family could live a luxurious life like this. Madame Qiao could not have possibly given Qiao Xian this much dowry. Qiao Xian's mother left all this to her? That must be right. Interesting, Zhao Ming sneered as if she had gotten a bargaining chip. She felt motivated. In the field, Qiao Xian was startled. Lady Zhao? She did not know any Lady Zhao. But when she thought of Zhao Ming, she almost turned pale. Let's go. Qiao Xian told Tao Tao and the others to continue working whilst going back to the yard with Liulang. Zhao Ming could not be here for anything good. Lady Zhao. Qiao Xian was wearing ordinary cotton clothes that were half new. The shoes on her feet were also coarse cloth shoes, with a little mud stuck on them. She had been working in the flower field. The hair bun was wrapped with a light-colored floral cloth. That was to prevent the hair from being blown by the wind and messing up the vision, and also to stop the hair from being blown into the flower juice. When Zhao Ming saw how messy Qiao Xian looked, she felt comfortable. She sneered. Second miss, what made you look like this? I would not recognize you on the street. Qiao Xian took her to the wing room and asked. What are you doing here? Zhao Ming snorted, glancing about. Second miss, you are living a good life here, right? Qiao Xian understood what she meant. If elder Miss Qiao learned about this, she would act on it. Zhao Ming thought that she had got the bargaining chip. But she was wrong. Qiao Xian repeated her words calmly. I am wondering what you are doing here, Lady Zhao. Chapter 632, shocked Zhao Ming had a bad look on her face. She said angrily, Of course I am here to collect debt. The county magistrate got so much money from our home, so I am here to collect it from you. So what? That was not a secret among all the rich families in the county. Even the masters and mistresses from the Zhao family knew about it. Zhao Ming naturally believed that she did not need to keep it a secret, thus spilling it out loudly. Qiao Xian thought to herself that no wonder she was a good friend with Qiao Wei. They had the same temper. But she was shocked by what Zhao Ming said. Did her father get much money from the Zhao family? It seemed that her husband was right, her father was in desperate need of money. The Zhao family might have been annoyed to offer a few hundred liang. But if Zhao Ming was this worked up, then, it basically meant that the Qiao family had taken thousands of liang from them. Qiao Xian was shocked. Thousands of liang was a very large number. The Zhao family was rich, but she was sure that they could not stand that much taken out of their family as well. Qiao Xian said calmly, Lady Zhao, you are behaving way over the top. I don't know much about what happened. But my father has been treating you and your family well these days. Why do you react so much to loaning out this little money? Little money? Zhao Ming sneered. We gave your family many presents over the years. But still, he took 3,500 liang from us. You said that is little? It seems that you are rich enough to call this amount little now? Qiao Xian. She really wanted to tell her that a few thousands of liang was a small amount for her now. She had cash worth more than 40,000 liang. But what position was her father trying to achieve, which cost him so much? He was in such a hurry. Did it mean that he was leaving the country soon? That would be great. Qiao Xian showed a look of surprise. Then, what has it got to do with me? Ha! Zhao Ming sneered. You are his daughter. Qiao Xian, if I tell others that you are living in a house with glazed windows and large yards, and you even have hundreds of mu of fields, what do you think will happen? Qiao Xian was speechless. She got nothing good out of her father, but her father had caused her such trouble. Zhao Ming was very annoyed to have lost this much money, so she was venting her anger. What do you want? Qiao Xian did not show any expression. Zhao Ming believed that Qiao Xian was pretending to be composed. She said proudly, I know you are poor, but I want your fields. Then, I will keep this a secret for you. Qiao Xian did not believe her. Qiao Xian was not going to give away the fields here. Even if she did, what would happen next time? Was she going to give it to Zhao Ming whenever she wanted something from? No, she was not going to give away anything. You don't want to? Aren't you afraid that Elder Miss Qiao would know about this? Qiao Xian, you are a smart person. You know what choice to make. Chapter 633, Reasonable. Qiao Xian asked in a calm voice. Lady Zhao, do you think that the Shao family are rich enough to get those fields and the big house? Zhao Ming was startled. She was confused too, but then she sneered. It's all thanks to you. Qiao Xian shook her head. It's not me, but my husband. I only know that the fields are related to young Master Yuezheng in the province, but one don't know the details. Young Master Yuezheng keeps a low profile, and he doesn't like bragging. But this is not some dirty deal, so you can tell anyone you want. Qiao Xian was still trying to use Yuezheng Shao as the shield. Afterwards, she could go to Shao Yunduan and talk about the compensation. Allos, Yuezheng Shao had a manager who was now residing at the Zhang village. He could be the messenger. He was working for the Yuezheng family, and he would always work better than Shao Yunduan as proof. Zhao Ming had heard of the Yuezheng family in the province. She was startled hearing what Qiao Xian said. You are lying to me, aren't you? Qiao Xian. You can believe me, or not. It depends on you. Zhao Ming snorted and flushed furiously. She got very angry about not being able to get the fields. Maybe she was even looked down upon by Qiao Xian. She did not need the fields. She just wanted to vent her anger. How could that be so difficult? So, young Master Yuezheng has purchased all those fields? What does he need those fields for? Qiao Xian replied with a shrug. I am not sure about it. Qiao Xian sounded so natural just when she said that. She was just a woman, who should not be involved with family business, right? Zhao Ming believed so too. She looked at Qiao Xian quietly. She was not very satisfied, but there was nothing she could do. She could not go and get the information from Shao Yunduan. Qiao Xian was chuckling inwardly, thinking that she could imagine all the stories she wanted. It was time to make lunch and Qiao Xian did not want Zhao Ming to stay here any longer. Lady Zhao, it is time for lunch, one think you can. Zhao Ming snorted and looked disdainful, so stingy. She believed that she was going to remain for lunch? She did not want to eat anything from the poor family. Qiao Xian, you must never lie to me. I will look into what you said. If you have lied to me, I will teach you a lesson. Qiao Rong, we should leave now. Zhao Ming left arrogantly. Qiao Xian ignored her and told Miss Fang about it. When Miss Fang learned that Zhao Ming's brother was hanging out with Shao Liulang, so she snapped. No wonder she seems like a bad person. She looks down at us. She should never bother to come to our door if she looks down at us. We are not begging her. Qiao Xian laughed. Mom, next time she is here, send someone to fetch me but do not speak with her. Ladies from the town are always arrogant and they never talk nicely. Don't take what they say to your heart, or get upset, okay? Ms. Fong smiled and said, thanks for your concern, my daughter-in-law. They happened to go into the mountains the previous day, and hadn't finished eating the muntjac meat they hunted back. At noon, they made shredded pork in sauce, braised venison, Christian carp loofah soup, fried wolfberry sprouts, river shrimp fried spring leeks, and a bowl of kimchi pickled with carrots, beans, chili, and cabbage. Those seasonal vegetables were delicious and fresh. Chapter 634, No involvement. After lunch, they returned to their own yards. That was when Xiao Xian told Shao Yunduan about Zhao Ming's visit. The couple would have originally thought that Zhao Ming wanted to suck up to Qiao Wei, and hence she tried to pry into their matter. But the truth was that she came to vent her anger because of the loan. Xiao Xian thought of how Shao Liulang spilled the information to her at the tea house. They knew that she was not up to anything good. They did not even interrogate Shao Liulang. There was no need to say anything to a person like him. What they needed was to stay cautious. After some discussion, the couple went to the Zhang village and gave the update to the manager there. The manager assured them. He said disdainfully, the Zhao family, the Zhang family, or any family are nothing, as long as our young master moves a finger. Once he does that, they will have no prospering business. Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan laughed. Zhao Ming told her mother about what happened. She wondered if she should tell Qiao Wei what she found at the first section of the Shao family. Madame Zhao was very surprised when she heard about the life Xiao Xian was living. She knew pretty well what went on inside mansions like that. But, you said that young Master Yuezheng was mentioned? He is involved in it? Yeah, but 1 a.m. not sure if she is lying. Just leave it. Madame Zhao said calmly, what does it have to do with us? We should not get nosy like this. Zhao Ming was struck speechless. She felt that it was so stupid to have visited Xiao Xian. How the Qiao family was doing had nothing to do with the Zhao family. She could help to get some information before. But Officer Qiao forced the Zhao family to pay him 3,500 liang, and the two families' relationship was broken. She better not share the information with Qiao Wei anymore. Besides, the Yuezheng family was involved in this as well. That was enough to motivate her to stay out of it. She even wished that Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan would be powerful enough to get young Master Yuezheng to help them take revenge on Officer Qiao's family. Got it, Mom. Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan thought that something would happen after Zhao Ming went back. But nothing did. They were very confused. They had no idea why the accident did not happen, but they did not think that it would never come. After all, Zhao Ming would not be able to keep it a secret for too long. Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan only wished that life could be more peaceful. But Xiao Xian was still very confused why her father needed this much money. So, she asked Yuezheng Shao to look into that. Soon, Yuezheng Shao's message arrived. Her father was trying to get a transfer back to the capital. Officer Qiao was the last generation of the rank. The Qiao mansion lost its rank when her father took it over. They were just an ordinary family henceforth. The mansion would not have any power or contacts, since there were so many rich people and people in high positions in the capital. Chapter 635. To province. It was not very easy for her father to get transferred back to the capital. No wonder he needed this much money. But the way he asked for the money was so shameless. It was good that he had no idea about her properties. Otherwise, he would have kept pestering her. Once the foundation was built, the house at the entrance of the village was completed within a few days' time. Soon after, they built the shelf and started to transport the mushrooms. There were dustpans, cleaves, baskets, all bought in large batches. Many people in the village were able to weave such things, so Xiao Xian turned to them and paid them to make enough. The planting of mushrooms started within half a month. The mushrooms only took up 3 mu, and it would soon grow in a few months. The plan of filling up the house should go smoothly. That was all money right in front of her. Xiao Xian was very satisfied. The pomegranates were also blooming in full swing. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan decided to head to the province after they made another batch of pomegranate color lipsticks. The autumn examination took place at the end of July, and the time was fast approaching. Qiao Xian needed to get everything settled before she left, in case something happened. Especially ever since she almost got exposed in front of Officer Qiao, she had become more careful. She was not sure what would happen when she and Shao Yunduan were away for almost 2 months. She was going to entrust her matter to Yuezheng Shao's manager. The manager had a strong background, and he could deal with everything with him in charge. He would at least solve the small problems which could occur in 2 months' time. When all was settled, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan left the village in silence on June 20th. They had 1,300 lipsticks, 10 kilograms of dried snow fungus along with Lixia and Liqiao. Their destination was the province. Miss Fong had wanted Qi to follow them, but Shao Yunduan turned her down. Their elder brother was too honest, and the third brother was a bit slow in mind. Qi seemed young, but he should remain at home to protect the others. He could buy one page boy to run errands and carry stuff when he arrived in the province. He could keep him if he wanted to, or sell him after the examination. Miss Fong could not persuade him, and thus agreed. Shao Yunduan repeatedly told the family that no one should tell others that he went out for the examination. The news they spread was that he was out to visit friends since he was in a bad mood. Even this was not to be mentioned to anyone, unless someone asked. Especially to the other sections of the family. Actually, Shao Yunduan was very worried about Shao Liulang, who hung out with Shao Guanghua. He might talk nonsense at any point of time. The Qiao family and the Zhao family were too close to each other. If Madame Qiao knew that he was going to take the examination, she might try to cause some trouble. He and Qiao Xian were not at home, and their parents and siblings were all honest farmers. They would not be able to confront people like Madame Qiao, who could set them all up easily if she used some tricks. Shao Yunduan could not take the risk. Shao Liulang was very concerned whether he was going to take the examination and even came to ask him about this. Shao Yunduan showed a bad look to him and said that he was not. Shao Liulang laughed proudly and pretended to console Shao Yunduan, then he left happily. Chapter 636, Warning. He did not care if Shao Yunduan treated him nicely or not. Shao Liulang believed that he was in a bad mood and could be forgiven. Shao Liulang did not suspect him. After all, Shao Yunduan was driven out of Minghua College and without any teacher's instructions, he could not exchange opinions with anyone, thus going around without a clue. In that case, he would not have the guts to take the autumn examination. Even if he did, he would not make it. It would be just a waste of money. What was the point? Although Shao Liulang left in satisfaction, Shao Yunduan did not relax his vigilance. He still stressed that the secret had to be kept. He said to eldest uncle in a serious tone, "Dad, you should never, ever tell anyone from the second or third section of the family about my going to take the examination. Many people from the college are jealous of me, and if they know that one will be attempting the examination, they would cause trouble. I have never begged you for anything, but please, this time listen to me." Eldest uncle was very confused. Elle will never tell anyone outside the family. But are you intending to keep it from our family too? I will tell them not to tell anyone else. Our family would not cause you any trouble. Dad. Shao Yunduan knew that it would be the answer. He said quietly, "I am not joking with you. The secret would no longer be secret, if it is told to even a single person." Dad, are you trying to cause me and our family trouble? Eldest uncle turned pale. Is it that serious? Yes, in fact, far more serious than we think. You would never know. Madame Qiao was an evil woman and she could do anything she liked here in the county. She did not care about anyone. Nis. Fong turned angry. What is wrong with you? Duan told you so because it is a serious matter. I don't know the details, but I trust Duan. You don't believe him? You think your son is messing around? What is so bad about keeping it a secret? Duan is on the way to the examination, and you are talking back to your son. I am warning you, if you ever tell anyone about it and cause us trouble, I will divorce you. My children are all grown-ups, and we can live separately. I can live without you. Her sons would take care of her anyway. Eldest uncle got so humiliated hearing her threat. Okay then, I won't spill it. How can it be so serious? Eldest uncle left the room angrily. Miss Fong said to Shao Yunduan, don't worry, I will make sure that he doesn't talk. Shao Yunduan nodded. Thanks, Mom. They had a huge house, and Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian had their own yard. They barely showed up in front of others. So, their absence would not cause much attention. Soon, the news that Shao Yunduan gave up the examination was spread around. Some were laughing, some were making up stories, and some felt that Shao Yunduan gave this up because he believed that he would fail. Only some people really showed concern. Some even came to the door to pry. They were very curious. It was not a very good thing to discuss, and Miss Fong was not happy to answer them. She just exchanged a few words with them and received some consolation like it is fine, he can do that later, what a pity etc. Chapter 637, Province. No one found that it was strange, when Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian did not show up in front of people. They would be too embarrassed to do so, and people could totally understand that. At the Qiao family, Officer Qiao understood that it was not a very reasonable thing he did to have borrowed this much money from others. So, he stayed quiet and tried to avoid meeting people during this time. He even told Madame Qiao and Xiaowei as well as the others to remain at home, rather than attend any banquets, at least for the next few months. Madame Qiao stayed at home, saying that she was practicing Buddhism. Even if County Magistrate Qiao did not tell her to, she would not have gone out by herself. She knew that she would not be well received after she got so much money from others. Xiaowei did not step out either. She hoped that some of her girlfriends could come to the door and visit her. But no one showed up. Xiaowei felt quite cold in her heart. She sneered at them for pursuing the small benefits. They should feel lucky to have befriended her. When she was back to the capital next spring, they would have no chance to suck up to her. They would regret it deeply at that time. Moreover, she was going to marry the Ho mansion. Those noble families were totally out of reach for these landlords' children. Qiao Wei was still dreaming without realizing that Xiao Ko was planning to set her up. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan went to the mansion which the Yuezheng family had given them, after they reached the province. It was spread across 7 mu, with 3 corridors and a small garden. There was still a lot of space after the 4 of them moved in. Yuezheng Shao had learned that they would arrive within these few days, so he had already ordered servants to clean up the whole place, and left a couple to help with some house chores. In this way, they would not panic. The following day, Shao Yunduan asked the gate guard to pass on the invitation to the Yuezheng family and Xie. Then, he bought a page boy in his teens, and named him Songshi. Finally, someone was running the errands for him. Yuezheng Shao and Xie replied and said that they could have a meeting the following day. First, Madame asked Auntie Hua to send 2 maids to Qiao Xian with some delicious food, saying that she was going to be invited to spend some time at the mansion. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan answered them happily. They spent the first day at home, taking a break. The couple came to the house for the first time, so they walked about and touched every corner. The woman said that it was the first madam who had supervised the decoration. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian could tell that it was very carefully decorated. Even the ingredients in the kitchen were all settled ahead of time. There were many trees and flowers in the garden. Some were placed in small pots, and had been exquisitely taken care of. At this time, the crepe myrtle was in full bloom. Other blooming flowers included the Chinese trumpet vine, hydrangea, gardenia, rhododendron, jasmine, wisteria, etc. They cast down thick shade, and drove away heat. There was a square pavilion in the northeast area of the garden, which faced a huge rockery. Chapter 638, Yuezheng Ting. Again in front of the pavilion, there was a small pond of 13 to 14 square meters. In the pond, there were beautiful koi swimming around and water lilies. In the shallow water, there were clumps of unknown aquatic plants with golden flowers as high as half a person. They were full of vitality. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan loved the house. They decided to get the family here to spend some time together in the province, after the Mid-Autumn Festival. There was a small market close by, so Qiao Xian, Lixia and Liqiao went to buy some stuff. She decided to cook during the following days. With Liqiao helping around, she could definitely cook 3 meals a day for these people. They bought 30 eggs, 1 chicken and lamb ribs, as well as some other fresh vegetables. She was going to stew the chicken and braise the ribs with 2 vegetables. Before that, First Madam sent 2 boxes over. It consisted of 8 dishes and 1 soup. They could not finish it and the day was too hot for the dishes to be kept. Qiao Xian gave some to the maids and guards, so that they could share the food with their families. The staff was very glad and thanked the couple. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan settled down in the province. By this point, there were a few wealthy cultivated talents who had already come to the province. They were either living in their own houses, or at their relatives'. Some were even stationed at the hostels. They soon started to befriend each other. They exchanged opinions and information. It was very lively. Shao Yunduan went there occasionally, but not often. He did not reveal his relationship with Xie Jingrong, but Xie Jingrong gave him the earliest and most comprehensive information, so he did not have to gather up with those people. He could spend more time studying at home or going out with Qiao Xian. That was much more comfortable. Qiao Xian would visit First Madam occasionally, and First Madam treated her nicely as always. First Madam did not want her to cook. She even gave her some good chefs to help her. But Qiao Xian turned her down. She bought the most fresh ingredients in the nearest market, and Lixia and Liqiao helped along. So, they could cook a meal with 3 dishes and 1 soup easily. It was the province and they did not lack anything. She liked cooking anyway. She could even buy beef every second day. Honestly, she only got to buy beef only 3 times in the county market. Now, they were able to eat many dishes cooked with beef. They had stir-fried beef with green pepper, braised beef in brown sauce, Westlake beef soup, stewed beef tendon meat, beef hot pot, beef dry pot, sauerkraut boiled beef slices, boiled beef, stewed beef brisket, and a hot pot containing beef offal or stewed or fried beef. Each dish was delicious. On her 3rd visit to the First Madam, she ran out of luck and came across Yuezheng Ting. She was about to dodge her when Yuezheng Ting stopped right in front of her. "How dare you come here? Don't you feel guilty?" The guiding maid did not know what to do. So, she had to step aside. Qiao Xian was confused. "What do you mean, Lady Yuezheng?" Yuezheng Ting shouted. "You are trying to trick me again. You still haven't told me your actual residential address." Chapter 639, Lipsticks. Qiao Xian had tricked her way too many times, and even good-tempered people would get angry. Yuezheng Ting was never a good-tempered person, to begin with. When she realized that she was fooled by Qiao Xian again, she kept pestering Yuezheng Shao and asked him to tell where Qiao Xian lived for real. Yuezheng Shao would not say a thing. He was very protective of his friends. In this way, Yuezheng Ting felt that something was wrong. So did Ms. Mi Jr. But no matter how much they tried, they just could not figure out where Qiao Xian was from. They could not teach her a lesson which they badly wanted to do. So, Yuezheng Ting was very furious seeing Qiao Xian here. Qiao Xian sighed and said honestly, "If you want to ask me for anything, you don't have to know where I live, right?" "Sorry." Yuezheng Ting sneered, approached her and asked in a small voice. "Mrs. Shao, are you the manufacturers of the lipsticks at my 3rd brother's store?" Qiao Xian was startled. She countered immediately. "No." "Bah." Yuezheng Ting did not believe her. Her mother reached that conclusion. Her mother said that Yuezheng Shao and his whole family really treated the couple too well and never wanted to reveal where they lived. They must have a secret. Logically speaking, the lipsticks were the most reasonable explanation. Yuezheng Ting said quietly, "Don't try to convince me. Why not speak with my mother? You are selling lipsticks to my 3rd brother, but we will offer a better price. Qiao Xian knew that this could not be kept a secret for too long. But Yuezheng Ting guessed it a bit too fast. Still, as long as she did not admit to it, Yuezheng Ting would not be able to do anything. You have misunderstood me, Lady Yuezheng. Qiao Xian said bitterly. Okay, I will tell you the truth. We are countryside people and we don't want trouble. We had a row before, so I was afraid that you would come to pester me. Hence, I don't want to tell you where we live. I am worried that you, Lady Yuezheng, will send people to give us trouble. Qiao Xian's speech really made Yuezheng Tin angry. You, why do you think of me in this way? Qiao Xian smiled embarrassedly. I am sorry to have said this bluntly. But I am very timid and only in this way can I feel safe. Sorry for the misunderstanding, Lady Yuezheng. Yuezheng Ting. How shameless this woman was. Yuezheng Ting felt that Qiao Xian was wary of her, and seemed to be on guard. But her words seemed so real as well. No, she was not a narrow-minded person. Qiao Xian was talking nonsense. Just wait and see. Yuezheng Ting gritted her teeth. Mom will find out the truth sooner or later. Qiao Xian smiled. Just do as you wish, Lady Yuezheng. Bah. Qiao Xian said goodbye to her and headed to First Madam's place. She felt that she needed to tell Yuezheng Shao about this quickly so when the news spread around, they would know what to do. Qiao Xian was very thankful to Yuezheng Shao. But for this, she would not be able to make these many lipsticks and sell them so well. Chapter 640. Stopping under the premise of not having enough ability to protect themselves, they could master this kind of skill that could make huge profits. But once it was exposed, not only would they not make a fortune, but it would cause disaster and even make them lose money. This was like a 3-year-old child who held gold in his hand and rushed to the market. Qiao Xian did not tell First Madam about what happened. Her own family was into garments and silk, and she had 2 large silk factories as part of her dowry. She had numerous brocades, silk and different kinds of garments in her private possession. She was sorting through them, and showed some to Qiao Xian, sharing some knowledge about the garments. That was a rare opportunity. Qiao Xian was very surprised and cherished this moment well. She had learned a lot from First Madam. She was smart and clever. She asked all kinds of right questions and even shared some of her own opinions with the First Madam. First Madam was very gratified hearing that. She liked the young woman even more. Qiao Xian could not speak highly of herself. She was not born in the same era as the rest of them, and it was not rare that she could think of some advanced ideas. First Madam sighed happily as she saw how modest she was. Half a day passed without them realizing it. Qiao Xian had to stay at First Madam's place for lunch. First Madam ordered the kitchen to make sweet and sour squirrel mandarin fish. The taste was very appetizing in summer. There were also light steamed crab powder meatballs, shrimp tofu, cold wolfberry sprouts, and beef bitter gourd. The maids were ordered to make jelly and sour plum soup, which were chilled with ice cubes and could be used to cool off after lunch. After a sumptuous meal, Qiao Xian bid farewell to First Madam, since she was very busy with many things in the mansion. First Madam did not keep her but asked her to join her again after a few days. When she was sorting the garments, she gave some to Qiao Xian and asked the servants to pack them. Qiao Xian got too many things from the First Madam, and did not turn down the generosity. She thanked her smilingly. She was going to offer some things from her own home, like the fruits, the smoked stuff, snow fungus, the expensive tea leaves, watermelons, and so on. But before she was able to leave the Yuezheng family, she ran into Ms. Mi Jr. Greetings, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Qiao Xian stopped to greet her. Nis. Mi Jr. sized her up and smiled. Mrs. Shao, my elder sister-in-law really loves you, doesn't she? She does not even treat us like this. What about having a chat with me? Qiao Xian did not want to. But she needed to visit the Yuezheng family often, so she could not escape the woman and her daughter all the time. She nodded unwillingly. I have to accept your invitation, sorry to trouble you, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Ms. Mi Jr. chuckled as she covered half her face with the fan. No trouble at all. You are really good at saying nice words, no wonder my elder sister-in-law loves you. Come with me. Ms. Mi Jr. soon took Qiao Xian back to her own yard. Chapter 641, Feeling guilt. The two sat down, as the maids served the tea. After exchanging a few words, Ms. Mi Jr. asked the other servants to retreat, but kept Yunxiu and Auntie Mao. Ms. Mi Jr. stopped smiling and leveled a serious look at Qiao Xian. We are alone now, so we can talk about everything frankly. Mrs. Shao, spare me some lipsticks. I don't want many, just 100 or 200 lipsticks will do. I will use them as favors. I will pay you more than Yuezheng Shao pays you, just think of it as a favor you do for me, okay? Ms. Mi Jr. and Yuezheng Ting were truly mother and daughter, good at intimidating others. They did not even want to conceal what they were up to. Qiao Xian said sincerely, Second Mrs. Yuezheng, I understand what you mean. But you have misunderstood me. I do have lipsticks, and Yuezheng gave them to me. I have so many, with different colors. I love them. But I am not the manufacturer. Where did you hear such a rumor? You are wrong. Mrs. Shao. Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. There is no use pretending, right? Qiao Xian answered. I am telling you the truth. Mrs. Shao, don't be so extreme. If I find out the truth one day, you will be embarrassed. Qiao Xian thought to herself. I am not setting you up or begging you for anything. I am concealing the matter because you are up to no good. If you really find that out, why will I be the embarrassed one? Do you really want me to prove it to you? Sorry, but we are not so familiar with each other. I have nothing to say more, if you don't believe me, Second Mrs. Yuezheng. Okay, I can tell that you want solid evidence thrown in your face. Just wait and see. Qiao Xian almost laughed in her head. So what? I am not going to work with you anyway. I will be off now, bye. Ms. Mi Jr. laughed and said, How can my elder sister-in-law treat you so nicely? After all, you should not have anything to do with my elder sister-in-law, right? You should tell me the truth, right? These people were just too nosy. Why was Ms. Mi Jr. interested in who Aunt Yuezheng treated nicely? She did not think that Aunt Yuezheng had any time to care about who Ms. Mi Jr. cared about. She thought for a while and smiled. That is not strange. The other day when my sister-in-law and I went out for a walk, we ran into Aunt Yuezheng who had passed out. So, I helped her to her room along with Auntie Hua. Since then she has liked me, so I feel quite lucky. Like was a very vague word, which could not be explained conclusively. That was the only thing Qiao Xian could say. If Ms. Mi Jr. could not understand, there was nothing she could do. Ms. Mi Jr. frowned slightly. She did not like this answer, but she could not find any fault with it. Oh, in that case. Ms. Mi Jr. showed a false smile. You are very lucky, Mrs. Shao. After all, the Yuezheng family is a huge family in the province. You have helped my elder sister-in-law and she likes you. You will have no worries for the rest of your life. Very fortunate for you. Chapter 642, Ms. Mi Jr.'s anger. Qiao Xian smiled as a way to agree with what she heard. She was lucky. Otherwise, she would not have got the superpower, or the space, or the husband with a huge potential as well as a mother-in-law like that. She even had so many properties that earned her the money, as well as friends like Yuezheng Shao, Aunt Yuezheng, and Xie Jingrong. But her silence made Ms. Mi Jr. feel angrier. Ms. Mi Jr. believed that she was shameless and did not hear her sarcasm. Hopefully, you will have this luck forever. Thanks, Second Mrs. Yuezheng. Okay then, you can go back now. Ms. Mi Jr. found herself very annoyed after Qiao Xian left. She did not like what she heard from Qiao Xian. Where did this wild girl appear from? How can she be so lucky? She really feels so good about herself. My elder sister-in-law has picked the wrong person. Yunxiu and Auntie Mao added fuel to the fire. The three of them kept cribbing about this. Qiao Xian denied that she had anything to do with lipsticks, but Ms. Mi Jr. was still skeptical about it. She asked Yuezheng Shao to come to her place the moment he stepped into the mansion. Yuezheng Shao. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled. Mrs. Shao was here with me. She said that as long as you agreed, she would give me half of her lipsticks. You won't turn me down, right? The production amount was apparently doubled compared to that from last year. But it was still too little compared to the market demand. They were always out of stock the moment they came on the shelf. Especially the limited version which appeared in the market. The whole province was shocked after the launch. Numerous rich ladies and madams went into the store to watch the show. They could only take a look at the treasure. In the meantime, they bought many other things in the store. Everyone felt so jealous about it. 2 lineal ladies from the Xia family bought 1 set each. Yuezheng Ting asked Yuezheng Shao for one, but he turned her down, saying that the limited version had already been booked. What a liar. Yuezheng Ting and Ms. Mi Jr. both felt so annoyed. They turned to Madame Yuezheng to inquire about this, and she asked Yuezheng Shao, who still gave the same answer. The mother and the daughter were very annoyed. Yuezheng Ting had already bragged that she would have 1 set, but she did not dare to attend any banquets for those ladies, fearing that someone would ask to take a look at the limited version. Ms. Mi Jr. could tell that the profits of lipsticks were far more than she had expected. One store would make so much money without the manager doing anything. Moreover, the lipsticks were so fascinating. Both of them wanted them so much. Ms. Mi Jr. sneered at Yuezheng Shao for not having a partner who manufactured enough of these. The Yuezheng family could offer the ingredients and the partner could just produce more. That would earn them more than the tea leaves business that they had now. But what she did not know was that Xiao Xian had been expanding the scale slowly. She had limited labor force, and she could not be too showy about it in case some trouble came to her door. She was going to expand the products and venture into things like perfume and handmade soaps. But not right now. Chapter 643, Eagerness to gain. Yuezheng Shao respected her decision, and did not get himself involved in the production. But in Ms. Mi Jr.'s eyes, that was dumb and stupid. Yuezheng Shao did not believe Ms. Mi Jr.'s claim. Qiao Xian was never going to make a promise to Ms. Mi Jr. without telling him first about it. His second aunt-in-law was trying to be smart, wasn't she? She was thinking of tricking him as if he were 3 years old. What are you talking about, second aunt-in-law? I don't understand. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled. Stop pretending in front of me. That is not funny. I will put in some capital for your lipsticks business. You won't lose anything. You are joking, second aunt-in-law. Yuezheng Shao smiled. Why is Mrs. Shao involved again? That business has nothing to do with Mrs. Shao. She never talks about things which have nothing to do with her. Nis. Mi Jr. felt very annoyed by what she heard. You are humiliating me. You are a man, and cosmetics aren't a good business for you to be involved in. Why bother? You can give me the business. I promise you that you will earn more than what you have today. You will not lose anything, why turn me down? To put it straightforwardly, I want this business. We can work together. I promise never to ruin your interests. In Ms. Mi Jr.'s opinion, the business was really profitable. She only needed to get as many products as she could, without bothering about anything more. It would simply help her earn money and contacts. She had never been as earnest to a business deal as this one. She really wanted to get it. Yuezheng Shao sneered. He got up and said, second aunt-in-law, you are really strange. If I want to expand the scale, I have my own capital. Why should I share the profits? You are so annoying, second aunt-in-law. Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. After a while, she said, then tell me, is Mrs. Shao behind the lipsticks? Can you swear that you won't lie? Why should I swear about it? Yuezheng Shao asked her curiously. That is a business secret, second aunt-in-law. Sorry, I can't reveal a thing. Don't be upset. I am leaving now. Nis. Mi Jr. sneered as she looked at Yuezheng Shao's retreating figure. Nothing can be concealed forever. I will see how much longer you will be able to hide the secret. You won't be able to do it for long because there are too many people who are interested in lipsticks. Yuezheng Shao knew what she was thinking. But he was confident enough to be able to safeguard Xiao Xian and Shao Yunduan. It seemed that he would need to get the Xia family involved and share some profits with them. The Xia family had an imperial background and they were a noble family. The Xia family should be able to safeguard whatever they wanted to. They were capable enough to do so. Soon it was July, and the 20th would be the day for examination. There were already many cultivated talents who were in the province. The hostels were filled with people, and many scholars dressed in long robes and square hats could be seen at restaurants and tea houses. Luckily, Shao Yunduan had a yard where the two of them could stay without being disturbed. It was spacious and quiet enough. Shao Yunduan studied accordingly, and sometimes, he attended the gatherings held by the scholars. Chapter 644, Lan Shao Yunduan kept a low profile. No one knew that he was a close friend with the lineal grandson of the Xia family and the young master of the most wealthy Yuezheng family. He remained absolutely low-key at the gatherings. He drew no attention to himself. But he ran into some cultivated talents from the same county and was mocked. Some people who did not know the truth looked down at him as well. Shao Yunduan did not care. He replied without showing emotions. Whether or not I am able to make it to the next level doesn't depend on your words. It depends on the actual result. Not everyone was belittling him though. Shao Yunduan had befriended two cultivated talents from another county called Lu Min and Qjao. It was the second time for Lu Min to take the examination and the first for Qjao. The three of them had a nice chat and soon became friends. On July 12th, the biggest scaled gathering took place before the examination. Shao Yunduan attended it as well. Qiao Xian had looked through every corner of the province, and she was very interested in the outskirts. She was thinking about buying some nice fields. She could not get the good fields, which were very popular among landlords and rich people. She stood no chance at acquiring those. But she could buy drought fields. If she could buy a few hundred mu, or at least 100 mu, she could plant the cassava and the creeping figs, as well as a few other fruits. In this way, she would be able to get the ingredients for the dessert stores. She was thinking that if the southern fruits like longans, lychees, mangoes, and dragon fruits as well as papayas and grapefruits were all growing well at home, she could get some to grow here as well. Those were excellent materials for desserts. She had decided to expand the lipsticks, perfumes, and handmade soaps at the village or in the neighboring areas. She could help the villagers to become rich, so that no one outside the village would be able to break in. Qiao Xian rented a wagon and went out of the town with Li Xia and Li Qiao, when Shao Yunduan was out for his gathering. They went traveling to see if there was any land she could buy. On this day, the three of them went to the southern suburb 10 miles away. They hiked through a forest and soon entered a flat and wide valley. Qiao Xian liked this land very much. The slope was gentle and the valley was wide. Although it looked like there was a lot of gravel and a few boulders taller than a person pop out from time to time, it was no problem planting scallops, cassava, and fruit trees on this land. More importantly, she could even get a spring at the end of the valley. With the spring, she could use her superpower and everything would be fine. But for the rocks here, she would not have the chance to acquire this place since it was difficult to open it. Qiao Xian liked this land. The valley, together with the gentle slopes on both sides, plus the other side of the ridges and slopes over the gentle slopes, was a large area. Altogether, there was at least 600 to 700 mu in total. It would be worth the while though. Qiao Xian was calculating it in her head when she pointed at the slope, asking Li Xia and Li Qiao. How about going up there to have a look at the land? Li Xia got the meaning, and smiled. You want this land, don't you? Chapter 645, Young Master Qiao asked in an uncertain voice. You want this land? But there are so many rocks on it. You can't get anything to grow here. Li Xia smiled. It can be used to plant roses and Chinese roses. Qiao thought for a while and nodded. Yeah. Qiao Xian answered as she walked. You are wrong. I am not going to plant those things here. You can have a look at it first, and then you will know. The three of them talked and smiled. The slope wasn't high, but after a quarter of an hour, they reached the ridge. The slope on the other side was low too. It could be bought as well. By this point, she was almost certain about this. The three of them had been visiting many places these days. Sometimes, Shao Yunduan would keep her company too. Out of all those places, Qiao Xian liked this land most. That was the best place with enough space. Qiao Xian suddenly pointed at the feet of the mountain, then turned to her maids. Is that young Master Xie? Xia and Qiao had never seen Xie Jingrong before until their visit here to the province. They had eyes widely opened but still shook their heads. Elle can't see clearly, me neither. Qiao Xian sighed. Right, she had her superpower and could see things through easily. She was a lot more sensitive in every way. In fact, Qiao Xian did not usually use superpower to check around, usually. She did not like to dig into people's secrets. But when she used her superpower, she could tell that it was Xie Jingrong and his servant. As Qiao Xian looked into the direction he was heading, Qiao Xian was shocked. Yuezheng Ting? Yuezheng Ting was waiting for him down, next to a large tree. So, Yuezheng Ting was waiting for Xie Jingrong? Was it what she thought? That was strange. Shao Yunduan and Xiao Xian could tell that Yuezheng Ting liked Xie Jingrong. So, Xie Jingrong should have seen that too. But how could he set a date with Yuezheng Ting in private? Something was wrong. Qiao Xian used her superpower to look around. Shao Yunduan's gathering was at a side place of some noble family. Shao Yunduan had said to her that Xie Jingrong would be present too, but why was he out seeing Yuezheng Ting? Qiao Xian found that something was wrong. So, the three of them went downhill to take a look at the situation. Let's figure out what's happening. The three girls were very fast as they came downhill. Qiao Xian led the way and they were close to the place now. Xie Jingrong had already come to Yuezheng Ting by this point. Xie Dong and Yuezheng Ting's maid were not standing very close to them. Qiao Xian gave her maids a wink. So, the three of them went and hid in the shrub, not very far away. She could see everything within sight but they could not hear what the two of them were talking about. Qiao Xian used her superpower and caught everything that Xia and Qiao could not. What do you want so that you can return the fan to me? Xie Jingrong sounded really angry. Apparently, he and Yuezheng Ting had talked about this already, but there was no conclusion. Chapter 646, Not Planned. Xiao Xian was startled. A fan? Xie Jingrong's fan was in Yuezheng Ting's hands? For scholars, a fan was very private. It represented their identity. If the fan was written with his calligraphy, it could be given away as a gift. No wonder Xie Jingrong wanted to get the fan back from Yuezheng Ting's hands. Qiao Xian could not help but feel that Yuezheng Ting was really good at this. She even stole the fan from Xie Jingrong? Brother Xie. Yuezheng Ting looked at Xie Jingrong with a gentle and sweet voice. You don't like me? But I like you so much. Lady Yuezheng, be careful with what you say. I don't think that I have ever said anything to make you misunderstand me. I will pretend that I never heard your talk today. My fan is a private thing. Lady Yuezheng, you can return the fan back to me now. If you don't want to give it back to me, I can just say that I lost it accidentally. Honestly, it is just a fan, nothing that important to me. If Yuezheng Ting told the public saying that Xie Jingrong gave it to her as a love gift, would Xie Jingrong agree with that? As long as he said that the fan was lost, people would definitely trust him more than Yuezheng Ting. If he really fell for Yuezheng Ting, he would just get the matchmaker to make the proposal and the Yuezheng family would definitely say yes to that proposal. This process was never needed. Also, everyone knew that Yuezheng Ting liked Xie Jingrong, including everyone from the noble families in the province. Yuezheng Ting would be stupid enough to blackmail Xia Jingrong to marry her. She was too innocent. She would only cause trouble for herself. The Xia family would never allow a woman like this to set up their lineal grandson. Xia Jingrong appeared here because he was, after all, Yuezheng Shao's friend, and he did not want to ruin the relationship too badly. He also wanted to put the truth straightforwardly in front of Yuezheng Ting. Moreover, he had painted the fan when he was in the best state, and it would be very difficult to paint an equally good one. That was a rare occasion and he had some personal print on it too. It would be best if he could get it back. He felt quite bad to have to let it go. But Yuezheng Ting had touched the fan, and he would never use it again. Yuezheng Ting's face sank. She started to cry and seemed very pitiful. Brother Xia, why am I not good for you? Please tell me, I can change myself. Why don't you give me any chance? Qiao Xian's lips twisted. She felt speechless. It was really shameless of her to continue to bother the person who had turned her down. What was the point of doing this? Xia Jingrong lost patience. He frowned and asked quietly. Why should I give you a chance? Yuezheng Ting was startled. Her eyes were widened. Qiao Xian was surprised too. A gentleman like Xia Jingrong would be so sharp. Yuezheng Ting would be too stupid if she continued to bother him after hearing that. Apparently, Yuezheng Ting felt even more motivated. She sobbed. But I truly like you so much. Chapter 647, Bothering Xia Jingrong. How do I care? Qiao Xian. That was a very strong stab in the heart. Sure enough, Yuezheng Ting could not stand it anymore. She covered her face and burst into tears. Seeing that, Xia Jingrong asked. Are you returning the fan or not? He hated women like Yuezheng Ting. Such women pretended to be innocent, but were actually very arrogant. They thought highly of themselves and did not care anything about people around them. So annoying. He just did not understand why people like them would want to force people they liked to admire them back. Why did they think that by bothering them constantly, they would definitely reach their purpose? He just did not expect that Yuezheng Ting would get herself dressed up as a man and steal his fan to set up a date with him. What she did not know was that he hated to be calculated. That would make him feel even more disgusted. Holding the fan, Yuezheng Ting was sobbing without saying a thing. Xia Jingrong's eyes sank. He was thinking that if she did not want to return the fan, he would just tell others that he had lost it somehow. But he really did not want anything of his left behind in Yuezheng Ting's hands. He wanted to take it back. If you don't give it back, I will turn to Brother Yuezheng for help. Yuezheng Ting was startled and cried even more loudly. Brother Xia, you are so cruel. Okay, what about keeping me company for 2 quarters, and you don't have to say a thing. I will give it back to you after 2/4 of an hour, and I will stop pestering you from this moment on. Xia Jingrong did not understand what made her say so. He could not help but look at her. Yuezheng Ting smiled bitterly. Brother Xia, you can't even say yes to this small request? Xia Jingrong felt silent. Obviously, he agreed. Yuezheng Ting wiped her tears and smiled on the sly. Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian just did not understand what Yuezheng Ting was doing. She would give up her obsession after 2/4 company from Xia Jingrong? Since when did she get so enamored with this man so she could belittle herself like this? That was different from how Yuezheng Ting should behave. Qiao Xian did not walk out and started to think. Sometime later, her face changed. Due to her superpower, she could see a few farmers from the neighborhood coming over with baskets and blades around their waist, sneaking their way here. They were whispering to each other. So, we need to be witnesses, right? Nothing else. Yeah, that lady promised to give us money when we shout what we see. That lady is very interesting. No more talk, we just need the money. Yeah, 10 liang. Qiao Xian suddenly realized what was happening. Yuezheng Ting got Xia Jingrong to stay because she wanted the villagers to see her and Xia Jingrong alone. The Xia family would need to save the girl's reputation. Moreover, the Yuezheng family was not a small household, and Yuezheng Shao and Xie Jingrong were good friends too. Yuezheng Ting was really bold to have come up with the plan. But she was so stupid. Xie Jingrong could not be forced to marry someone like her. He would not even touch her if they got married. Chapter 648, Countering. In fact, Yuezheng Ting might end up being in a terrible situation. Did she really think that she could turn his mind around? How stupid she was. Qiao Xian did not care about what she was thinking. But she did not want Xie Jingrong to get set up by this horrible trick. Pondering over this, and seeing the villagers arriving very soon, Qiao Xian walked out with Li Xia and Li Qiao, acknowledging them. Young Master Xie, Lady Yuezheng, greetings. Yuezheng Ting's face changed. She snapped loudly. What are you doing here? Xie Jingrong smiled after a moment of surprise. Mrs. Shao. Greetings. Yuezheng Ting was so annoyed and said with displeasure, Mrs. Shao, didn't you see that Brother Xie and I are here? You should leave us alone. Qiao Xian was very surprised. Didn't you run into each other accidentally? Why are you dodging? Yuezheng Ting almost wanted Qiao Xian to prove that she and Xie Jingrong were alone here. But Qiao Xian did not seem to be interested in thinking it that way. She knew that Qiao Xian was countering her. Xie Jingrong smiled loudly. Mrs. Shao, you are right. Then, he suddenly seemed to think of something and threw a speculative look at Yuezheng Ting. He realized that he must have missed something. But with Qiao Xian here, he was totally assured. Qiao Xian was cursed by Yuezheng Ting inwardly repeatedly. She interrupted rudely when she saw Qiao Xian and Xie Jingrong starting to talk. Mrs. Shao, we are here, where are you headed to? Maybe you should leave now. Qiao Xian smiled. It doesn't happen every day that we run into each other. We can walk together. 1 a.m. Not planning to go anywhere specific. Xie Jingrong developed a bad feeling towards Yuezheng Ting. How could she say such misleading words? So, he said to Yuezheng Ting, Lady Yuezheng, watch out what you say. You and I just ran into each other, that is all. Yuezheng Ting felt so ashamed when she heard him speak so indifferently. Suddenly, some farmers appeared on the path and they were shocked seeing the scene as well. So was Xie Jingrong. Then, he threw a cold look at Yuezheng Ting and looked imposing. Yuezheng Ting was panicking as if she had been seen through. Brother Xie, let's just go. Xie Jingrong was not stupid. The farmers suddenly appeared for a reason, and they seemed confused when they reached the place. There was definitely something amiss here. He almost understood what was going on. After all, he had witnessed and heard many conspiracies happening in inner mansions. But he had not expected that Yuezheng Ting would have dared to do such a thing. What are you doing here? Did she get you here? Xie Jingrong threw a look at Yuezheng Ting and asked them straightforwardly. Well, the farmers turned to Yuezheng Ling subconsciously, looking hesitant. Qiao Xian almost did not want to continue to watch this. These farmers had no idea how to conceal their inner expressions. They were just asking Yuezheng Ting through their expressions. Should we tell the truth? Yuezheng Ting snapped at them. What are you looking at us for? I don't know, that was totally different from what they had promised. They only had 5 qian as advance and had thought that they would get 10 liang in total. So, they panicked. Chapter 649, Yuezheng Ting's plan backfires. What are you talking about, lady? You are the one who got us here. You wanted us to be the witness of you being along with this young master. Now, you are breaking the promise. Yeah. Also, you promised to give us 10 liang each. You need to give it to us now that we have completed the task. Yeah, we dropped our work to come here. This place is very far away. You have to give us the money. Yuezheng Ting was so ashamed that she screamed loudly. You lowly farmers, what are you talking about? I don't know you at all. Just go away. Those farmers were so stupid. 10 liang, they could have asked her for the money at any other occasion. She would have paid them to shut them up. But they were foolish to reveal everything in front of Xie Jingrong. That was akin to killing her. They would never get any money. Those farmers had been worried that Yuezheng Ting would break the promise, and seeing that she was trying to get out of her commitment, they panicked. You are a city lady yet you are lying to us? You found us, and now you are claiming that you don't know us? We came here for the money, else we will never do anything so unethical like this. Yeah, you must give us money, or you will not be able to leave today. You are all mental. Farmers. I don't know what you are talking about. Someone bought you off, right? Who did? Yuezheng Ting tried to sidetrack the fire at Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian did not bother to defend herself. Speechless, what a talent in transferring the target. Qiao Xian did not utter a sound. That made Yuezheng Ting feel that she had found an anchor. Her back straightened up as she pointed at Qiao Xian. You are speechless, aren't you now? Brother Xie, look at her. She tried to set me up. Xie Jingrong ignored her and asked Xie Dong to give 100 liang to the villagers. Speak the truth now. With the payment, the villagers all cheered up and sold out Yuezheng Ting completely. Well, it was her own fault. She had been planning this since the gathering. She did not think her maid would be enough as proof, so she met the farmers and told them her plan. She did not even bother to conceal her face. In her opinion, it would just be one casual meeting and they would have no intersection with each other ever again. So, it did not matter if they had seen her face once. She spared no efforts to sneak into the gathering and got Xie Jingrong's itinerary to arrange a meeting. She tried to express her love to him, and if Xie Jingrong was moved, they would leave together, without being seen by the farmers. If he failed to notice how good she was, she would use the plan. She would throw herself into Xie Jingrong in front of the farmers. When that happened, Xie Jingrong would need to take responsibility. She was sure that he would like her sooner or later. By that time, nothing she planned today would be worth a fuss. She loved him so deeply and was just trying to set him up for their future happiness. It was all because she loved him. Chapter 650, Not End but Qiao Xian popped up from somewhere and ruined her whole plan. Even the farmers sold her out right in front of Xie Jingrong. Hearing that, Xie Jingrong glanced at the farmers. You can leave now. Okay. Thanks for the bonus, young Master Xie. The farmers left the place cheerfully. Yuezheng Ting got both annoyed and embarrassed. She could not stand being slapped on the face, especially in front of Xie Jingrong. Mrs. Shao set me up, for real. Brother Xie, you have to believe me. I never planned anything like this. Ignoring her, Xie Jingrong turned to Qiao Xian. Want to leave, Mrs. Shao? Qiao Xian nodded with a smile. Please. They had to walk this road together. What if Yuezheng Ting did something else if she was gone? Then, what Qiao Xian had done earlier would be in vain. Xie Jingrong gave Xie Dong a glance. Xie Dong understood his meaning. After Xie Jingrong and Qiao Xian left, he came to the sobbing Yuezheng Ting. Lady Yuezheng, please return the fan. Yuezheng Ting stiffened, sobbing without moving. Lady Yuezheng. Xie Dong sounded disdainful and annoyed. You are a lineal lady of the Yuezheng family, what is the point of doing this? Yuezheng Ting stiffened and lost her grip. Xie Dong pulled the fan out of her grasp and left. His young master had saved her reputation by not pointing it out in front of everyone. But he would never do that. He wanted to reveal these shameless people's true faces. Yuezheng Ting staggered and almost collapsed. She had lost her mind. Both Xie Jingrong and Qiao Xian were a little embarrassed. Sorry for the ridiculous show, Mrs. Shao. Qiao Xian replied. That is not your fault, young master, you are an excellent man, so many people want to court you. Xie Jingrong smiled bitterly. He did not think that he was an excellent man. He was courted mostly because of his family background. Most people would respect him when they heard where he was from. Did Yuezheng Ting really worship him like this? Not necessarily. She admired him because he was the lineal grandchild of the Xie family. But he was not going to forget how she set him up in this way. He was a cold and lethal person, after all. It was an embarrassing topic, so Xie Jingrong coughed and smiled. What made you come here, Mrs. Shao? It was his luck that Xiao Xian ran into him here. Else, he would have been in a really awkward situation here. Yuezheng Ting would not have been able to achieve success, but the process would have been much more complicated. Xiao Xian smiled. My husband is at the gathering. So, I came out with 2 maids to explore the surroundings. What a coincidence that we ran into each other. Xie Jingrong said, thanks for your help, Mrs. Shao. Qiao Xian was involved and Xie Jingrong did not conceal anything from her, but told her why he ended up being here. In the end, he said, Mrs. Shao, you better not visit the Yuezheng family these days. I won't let go of this matter easily. And Yuezheng Ting might cause you trouble, so you have to be very careful these days. Better stay indoors. Qiao Xian was startled. She had not thought about this before. She nodded. Thanks for the reminder, young Master Xie. Chapter 651. The fan Xie Jingrong thought for a while and said, sorry for the trouble, Mrs. Shao. I will watch out in case there is any trouble coming for you due to this. Qiao Xian felt relieved hearing what Xie Jingrong said. She was sure that he would definitely keep his promise. Hence, she was not going to worry. Thanks for your help, young Master Xie. That is what I should do. Xie Jingrong and Xiao Xian would not have thought about this otherwise, but Yuezheng Ting was a little too dangerous. She tried setting up Qiao Xian right in front of her, and she might do something even worse in secret. The 2 of them did not go on the same path because they did not want to cause any rumor between them. They waved goodbye to each other at the feet of the mountain. It was getting late, and Xiao Xian went home with Li Xia and Li Qiao in town. Xie Jingrong headed towards the gathering. Xie Dong presented the fan to him. Young Master Xie, this fan. Xie Jingrong frowned slightly. Keep it with you, and put it away once we are home. He did not want to touch it. He felt quite distressed to have wasted his excellent work. Xie Dong was annoyed too. Okay, young master, one will definitely put it away and leave it out of your sight. What a pity. Xie Jingrong felt that his words were funny. Xie Dong added. We were lucky that Mrs. Shao was here, otherwise, Xie Dong felt both disgusted and scared. He understood clearly what Yuezheng Ting's plan was, seeing how she liked his young master and the farmer's timely appearance. But for Mrs. Shao, his young master would have been in trouble. They would have been able to deal with her in the end, but it would have taken far more effort. Xie Jingrong's eyes sparkled. He answered. Yeah, very lucky indeed. Xie Dong said emotionally, thanks to Mrs. Shao. Xie Jingrong didn't reply to him. He did not think that her appearance was pure luck. He even felt that Xiao Xian appeared intentionally to help him. But he could not find an explanation for this thought. Anyways, Mrs. Shao was very interesting. Xie Jingrong was not in a mood to attend the gathering, but thinking that Shao Yunduan was still there, he should visit there anyway. He was not a friend to Shao Yunduan on the surface, but Xiao Xian helped him and he could help Shao Yunduan on the sly, in case he was being bullied. So, he went to the gathering, after all. It was not until evening when the gathering finished. The scholars and talents waved goodbye to each other and left. But, in the second section of the Yuezheng family, it was total chaos. Yuezheng Ting was crying when she returned home and she could not stop doing so in front of her mother. The episode was too embarrassing and hurtful for her. She had never experienced such shame as on this day. She lost her face in front of the man she adored, and it felt as if heaven had fallen down. Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked to see her daughter crying in an abandoned manner. She consoled her for a long while before she was able to stop herself. After a long while, she stopped crying and started to talk. Yuezheng Ting did not tell her the truth. She did not even dare comment on Xie Jingrong. She simply blamed everything on Xiao Xian. She said that she ran into Xie Jingrong and was in the middle of conversation with him when Xiao Xian suddenly popped up and accused her of flirting with Xie Jingrong. Chapter 652, Venting the anger. She even said that Xie Jingrong trusted Xiao Xian's words and did not defend her. Instead, he let Xiao Xian humiliate her. In the end, Xiao Xian even lured Xie Jingrong away, so that she and Zhang were left alone there. Ms. Mi Jr. almost passed out in anger after hearing the story. How dare that countryside girl treat you like this? How dare she? Shame on her. It must be your elder aunt who was behind this. She has not liked us for a long time, and now that she is back from the abbey, she intends to remove us. But for her authorization, Xiao Xian would not have had the guts to do something like this. Elle will speak with her now. Mom. Yuezheng Ting stopped her. She did not dare let her go to First Madam. What if it became too big a trouble to deal with? She wanted to vent her anger, but she did not want the issue to become too big. She would be exposed. After all, her elder aunt was a tough one. She believed in her mother's capabilities, but if her mother and elder aunt had a confrontation, the result would be hard to tell. Elder aunt would never admit to it. Maybe she will accuse you instead. Why bother? Ms. Mi Jr. agreed with her. But after a while, she thought and said, "You are right, let's go to your grandma. She loves you and I will speak with her about it." No, grandma would bring an elder aunt as well, the result would be the same. Yuezheng Ting sneered. You don't think that grandma can control elder aunt, do you? Madame Yuezheng could have control over the second section of the family, but never the first section of the family. Madame Yuezheng was only tough on the outside, never inside. Ms. Mi Jr. became really irritated. She was not convinced, but she dropped the idea of visiting Madame Yuezheng. She could not help but regret not having a son. If she had a son, he would surely defend her, and Ms. Lu would not have bullied her like this. But how can I tolerate that you have been bullied so badly? Ms. Mi Jr. gritted her teeth. How can young Master Xie be so stupid as not to tell the right from wrong? Yuezheng Ting did not reply. Ms. Mi Jr. stared at her and had some hope arising inside her heart. She asked gently. What did you talk about when you ran into young Master Xie? If he has some misunderstanding about you, it is fine. You can ask your brother to set a date between the two of you, and you can reveal Xiao Xian's real face at that time. Ms. Mi Jr.'s eyes brightened. How does that sound? She had not expected that her daughter and young Master Xie ran into each other and spoke with each other for a while. The matter looked hopeful. Things would get better as long as they worked hard. Maybe young Master Xie would be moved by her daughter's devotion. This was a good omen. But if Xiao Xian ruined this deed, it would be such a pity. Yuezheng Ting stiffened. What should she do now? She had told a lie and it was coming back to bite her. She started to get anxious. Especially when she thought of how Xie Jingrong had treated her. He was so cold to her and even asked the farmers what her plan was. Yuezheng Ting felt like screaming. She was going mental. Chapter 653, Humiliation again. How should she face Xie Jingrong when they meet again? What would she do if he exposed her? Mom, let's wait for a while. Brother Xie misunderstood me and he must be very angry. Just hold on until he calms down. Dumb girl. Ms. Mi Jr. did not agree with her daughter's cowardly approach. You should work on the matter when it is hot. You can clarify the misunderstanding when you are in front of each other. If you wait for too long, things will get worse. No, I will wait a little, until Brother Xie calms down. Also, I don't want to let go of this issue with Xiao Xian. Yuezheng Ting gritted her teeth. I want to vent my anger. She was not convinced about giving up on Xie Jingrong. She had exposed herself to Xie Jingrong already and she could do anything she wanted with him. What if he was moved? Even if he was not moved, she would face humiliation once more. So what? She had been humiliated already anyway. But that matter could wait. She really had no courage to stand right in front of Xie Jingrong just after this episode. Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. She sneered. Okay, let's vent our anger at her. How dare this bitch humiliate you just to suck up to Ms. Liu? I am going to let her pay for it. She should know who she is and what she should not touch. She can't offend just anyone she wants to. Yuezheng Ting loved these words. She asked instantly. Mom, what is your idea? Ms. Mi Jr. smiled at her daughter. That woman's future is tightly connected to her husband. If we cut her husband off from the imperial examination, he will have to admit that it is his wife's fault that he didn't get to attempt the examination. You think her days would be peaceful from that time on? Yuezheng Ting was overjoyed. Mom, that is a great idea. Ms. Mi Jr. patted her hand with a smile on her face. You are still young, you have a lot to learn. I will pass on some knowledge to you. But remember, either you make sure the person you take revenge on suffers for the rest of her life, or you don't do it at all. Yuezheng Ting smiled and nodded. You are right. You want Auntie Mao to bribe the examiners? But that is not very easy. Why examiners? Ms. Mi Jr. sighed, thinking that her daughter was very innocent and lovely. She said seriously, the imperial examination is very important and we can't bribe the examiners. If something happens, the whole family will be killed. Remember, whatever you do, you have to keep yourself safe first. Otherwise, it would just be empty talk. Yuezheng Ting's heart was throbbing. She nodded constantly. Elle got it. Then what are you going to do, Mom? Ms. Mi Jr. sneered. It is very easy. I will get Shao Yunduan's legs or hands broken, so he has no chance to take the examination. Also, no cripple can become an officer ever in his life. Yuezheng Ting smiled. That is a good idea. Elle, somehow, made everything complicated. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled gently. You are too young to understand any of this. Chapter 654, Fearless. The mother and daughter leaned against each other, looking beautiful and charming. But in fact, they were talking about the worst and most indecent plan in the world. Ms. Mi Jr. asked Yuezheng Ting to take a break, whilst she herself started to work on the matter. The problem was that she had no idea where Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were living. So, she asked Auntie Mao to dig around the servants catering to the first madam. As long as she knew where they lived, things would become much easier. Many people had gathered for the examination. Those cultivated talents were blending with some business people. So, there were lots of people around. Even if some accident happened, no one would be able to find the source. Also, that poor couple would have no idea how to find the truth, if they met some trouble. They just did not have the right channels in the province. Those who might defend them would definitely her own elder sister-in-law and her nephew. But they would not be able to find out anything since she was part of the Yuezheng family, and even if the cause was found, they would not do anything to her. They would not announce it to the public either. Worst case scenario, even if they did, they would feel so ashamed to be involved with the Yuezheng family as well. Madame Yuezheng would not approve of that. So, there was nothing Ms. Mi Jr. needed to be afraid of. But before she could do anything, First Madam sent her people to summon her. Ms. Mi Jr. was confused. How did she offend the first section of the family? What did Ms. Liu ask her for? She had to go over since the summons had come from the First Madam. She was curious about the matter, and went there readily. First Madam was not in a good mood. Yuezheng Shao had just been to her place and recounted the whole story to her about what Yuezheng Ting did earlier that day. Xia Jingrong had asked his servant Xia Dong to recount the story to Yuezheng Shao. Xia Dong really wanted to add fuel to the fire and report about Yuezheng Ting's behaviors. But his young master had strict rules and he did not dare to make up false stories. There used to be a page boy who was trusted by the young master and trained well by him. He had the chance to become the best servant working for young master. That would have been a great achievement for a servant. But there was one time when he did what he believed to be good for young master and did not obey his rule. In the end, he was fired. From that time on, no one dared to bet on their own future. Yuezheng Shao got so furious hearing the deeds of Yuezheng Ting. But for his relationship with Xie Jingrong, the guy would not have told him about this and the whole family would be doomed. How could someone dare to set up the lineal grandson of the Xie family? Yuezheng Ting was an idiot to have used such a method. Only she was foolish enough to believe that the plan would work. The truth was that it would never have come to fruition. The Xie family would never allow anyone with such an evil heart to become their lineal granddaughter-in-law. It was such a daydream. But since it was his sister, Yuezheng Shao could not go to her personally. So, after speaking with Xie Dong, he passed on the matter to his mother. First Madam was so annoyed. What on earth did the Yuezheng family do to make the mother and the daughter come up with such a terrible plan? Did she think that she would be able to marry anyone just by being the lady of the Yuezheng family? Chapter 655, Different Words. First Madam, who had been dreaming of having a daughter, for the first time, thought that she was lucky not to have a daughter. Otherwise, her reputation might have been ruined due to this episode. Elder sister-in-law, I wonder what you have called me over for. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled brightly. She was trying to control her emotions so that she did not vent them on First Madam. Sit down please, I have something urgent to tell you. First Madam had no interest in chit-chatting with her. She threw a look at Auntie Hua. Auntie Hua, tell her. Okay, First Madam. Auntie Hua had just started the narration when Ms. Mi Jr.'s face changed. Bullshit. Elder sister-in-law, where did you hear this story that humiliates Ting? Did Xiao Xian tell you about it? Bah, everything she told you is false. First Madam was surprised that Ms. Mi Jr. mentioned Xiao Xian, because Xiao Xian was a part of the story after all. She thought for a while and then realized what had happened. Yuezheng Ting told you something, right? Okay, no outsider is here, and Auntie Hua's story would not be revealed to anyone else. Don't interrupt her now. Let her finish and you can defend yourself later. Also, Xian did not tell me any of this. Xie Dong, who works for young Master Xie, told Shao, who mentioned it to me. You don't think Xie Dong would lie, do you? Young Master Xie's servant did everything according to young Master Xie's intention. Ms. Mi Jr. was still not convinced. No, listen to Auntie Hua first. Continue speaking, Auntie Hua. Okay. Auntie Hua bowed and continued with the story. Ms. Mi Jr. was about to interrupt her when First Madam's cough covered it up. Ms. Mi Jr. had to grit her teeth to hold back the impulse. She just did not believe anything that was told to her. It was just a fabrication. Finally, Auntie Hua finished the story and Ms. Mi Jr. could not stand it anymore. Elder sister-in-law, that is not possible. I don't believe anything that has just been said. This is called bullying. Oh yeah? First Madam thought that she would at least feel embarrassed after hearing the truth, but she was only trying to push the blame to someone else instead. First Madam laughed out of anger. You think it was me who told Auntie Hua to lie to you, or are you suspecting Xie Dong? You think the servant who works for young Master Xie would make up a lie? What a bold thought. Ms. Mi Jr. was stuck speechless. But she knew pretty well that no matter how much First Madam disliked her, she would not get Auntie Hua to make up such a big lie. It was not going to be easy to hold a lie like that forever. Moreover, she could not suspect Xie Dong either. But that is not what happened anyway. Ting's version wasn't like that. Ms. Mi Jr. chose to believe her own daughter. Also, her daughter was in tears when she saw her today. She could not have made up a lie. First Madam sneered. Oh yeah, what did Ting say? Ms. Mi Jr. had not wanted to reveal it to the First Madam, fearing that she would ruin their last hope of getting related to Xie Jingrong. But she could not hide it anymore. Also, if she didn't mention it, her daughter would be accused of something she didn't do. Ms. Mi Jr. narrated to the First Madam what Yuezheng Ting told her, and she even tried to make it sound that First Madam had told Xiao Xian to do so, suggesting that First Madam must have asked Xiao Xian to trick Yuezheng Ting. First Madam almost passed out hearing her speak all that nonsense. You just believed everything Ting said? Chapter 656, Falling, of course. Ms. Mi Jr. defended herself. Ting never lies to me. I am her mother. First Madam almost wanted to shake her or pour a basin of water over her so that she could calm down and think rationally. Just think about this. First Madam almost did not want to explain anything to her but had no choice. Just think about what Xie Dong said and what Ting claimed. Who on earth is lying? Ting did not mention anything about the fan. Are you trying to say that Xie Dong came up with something like that out of nowhere? Also, a girl from our family needs to steal a fan to force a meeting with the guy she likes? How ridiculous. It must be a misunderstanding. Ting must have forgotten to tell me. What about those farmers? How dare she set up Xian who ran into them? She is totally uneducated. Elder sister-in-law, you, don't care about the details. Ting stole the fan and forced young Master Xie to have a private meeting. Do you think Xie Dong could lie about this too? And the farmers? Are you looking down on people's intelligence here? Also, honestly, it was lucky that Xian was there and interrupted them. Otherwise, Ting was trying to make the farmers become the witness to her date with young Master Xie. That is so shameful even when I speak of it here. You think she could have succeeded with this method? That is so foolish of her. You think that would have worked out well? Young Master Xie is the lineal grandson of the Xie family and his wife is going to become the honored lady of the Xie family. Ms. Mi Jr. could not stand listening to it anymore, she almost lost it. But elder sister-in-law, why are you looking down at my daughter? My daughter can definitely become the honored lady of the Xie family as well. First Madam sneered. If the Xie family comes with the proposal, then we can accept it. But she made a bad plan. You think the Xie family are so easy to manipulate? Don't believe you. That is just one side of the story. Unless young Master Xie tells me about this face to face, I will never believe that it happened like this. Her daughter was so cute. How could she lie to her? First Madam became even more annoyed. You think that is possible? Honestly, even Xie Dong would not repeat the story in front of you. You think the Xie family are people to be summoned and driven away as you wish? You can ask Jiang who has been serving Ting. You can interrogate her. Honestly, even though we don't live separately, the Xie family understands what is going on here. We have never offended them and my son and young Master Xie are good friends. If you continue to behave like this, you will need to bear the consequences yourself. We will not offer any help. I have told you everything here, you can think about what to do yourself. Ms. Mi Jr. She just could not vent her anger at First Madam. First Madam was not thinking for her sake. She was telling the truth. She was going to keep her hands away regarding this issue. Honestly, she should be happy when First Madam wanted to stay away from them, but somehow she felt quite displeased after what she just experienced. Nis. Mi Jr. bluffed. You don't have to bother, elder sister-in-law. One will look into this matter myself. She left with a sunken face. First Madam whispered to Auntie Hua. Watch out for her. See what she is going to do, but don't get involved easily. Chapter 657, Last Resort. Okay, First Madam. The more Ms. Mi Jr. thought about this, the angrier she became. She called Jiang to her side despite the late hours. Even to this point, she still trusted her daughter. She was ready to take her to First Madam and let her tell the truth post this. However, after a few harsh words, Jiang shivered and confessed everything to Auntie Mao. The more she talked about this, the more embarrassed Auntie Mao and Ms. Mi Jr. became. That was not a confession. It was a slap on their faces. But Jiang did not know about this. She got even more frightened seeing their increasingly horrified faces. She saved nothing and blurted out the smallest detail. Jiang felt that she could be spared after her honest confession. But Ms. Mi Jr. was so annoyed after Jiang's frank words. There was a very bad atmosphere inside the room. Jiang, think carefully. What you said is the absolute truth. You should never lie to second Mrs. Yuezheng. Or you will not be excused when the truth is found. Jiang turned pale. She nodded constantly, and kowtowed to Ms. Mi Jr. Second Mrs. Yuezheng, I am telling the truth, no lies. I don't dare lie to you at all. Bitch, your job is to serve the young lady, but look at what you did. Why didn't you say anything at the beginning? Did you encourage her? My daughter is always so obedient and kind. How can she do something like that? It must be you who told her to. Ms. Mi Jr. wanted to get Zhang killed. No, second Mrs. Yuezheng, I didn't. I would not dare. You dare to do anything, because young lady adores you. Auntie Mao, send this bitch to the wood room. We will deal with her later. Okay, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Second Mrs. Yuezheng, please, it wasn't me. Please, Zhang was shocked and cried. But soon she was gagged and dragged away. Ms. Mi Jr. vented her anger and snapped at Zhang. Auntie Mao added fuel to the fire, saying that Zhang must be the bad influence on her lady which made her behave like that. She was trying hard to make Ms. Mi Jr. look better. After all, Ms. Mi Jr. was slapped right across her face by First Madam earlier. She was very irritated. After a long while, Ms. Mi Jr. calmed down. What was she going to do? Ms. Mi Jr. massaged her temples and felt a headache come on. In the end, Zhang took the blame, and Ms. Mi Jr. had no face to tell First Madam about this. She turned to Yuezheng Shao, hoping that he could explain to Xie Jingrong that it was Zhang's fault. Yuezheng Shao rolled his eyes. Everyone knew what Yuezheng Ting's feelings towards Xie Jingrong were. Besides, could a maid like Zhang really make the plan on her own? Even if Zhang did make the plan, Yuezheng Ting was her mistress. She was the one who put it into practice. Had she refused to do so, what could Zhang do about her? Second aunt-in-law, don't worry, I will tell brother Xia about this, and he will not pursue it. If he wanted to work on this, he would have come to me personally, rather than let Xie Dong come to me first. But this can only happen once. If brother Xia is irritated again, I would not be able to do anything. After all, no one likes to be set up again and again, right? Also, my cousin is old enough to get married. What about finding a good suitor for her? I am sure that she will mature after she is married. He wasn't sure if she was going to become sensible after getting married. At least, she was not going to ruin his family. Chapter 658, Due to Qiao Xian MS. Mi Jr. felt embarrassed hearing the advice from her nephew, but she needed Yuezheng Shao to pass on the message for her, so she had to force a smile. You are right, it is time to find a suitor for Ting. Soon, Zhang was sold away. Ms. Mi Jr. gave Yuezheng Ting another maid called Li. Yuezheng Ting did not like her, because Zhang had been serving her for a long time. But Ms. Mi Jr. said that someone had to take the blame, so Yuezheng Ting was silent. She could not take the blame herself for the sake of Zhang anyway, right? She liked Zhang, but she could not sacrifice herself for a maid. So, she asked mother to give Zhang more money for old time's sake. Ms. Mi Jr. agreed but forgot directly afterwards. She was sold away, what was the money for? Zhang could not be kept, no matter how much money was given to her. Xie Jingrong did not talk any more about this. Yuezheng Ting also stopped trying to get close to Xie Jingrong. Xie Jingrong was never going to meet her again. If he did not want to meet her, she would never be able to see him, no matter what. Nis. Mi Jr. realized that it was how it should be from this moment on. She was thinking about finding a suitor for Yuezheng Ting. But Yuezheng Ting did not understand the importance of this incident. She thought that it was already history and she would still have a chance to meet brother Xie. Yuezheng Ting did not want to let Qiao Xian slip away from this either. But for Qiao Xian, Zhang would not have been sent away and she would not have been so embarrassed. Maybe at this moment, the Xie family and the Yuezheng family would have been talking about their engagement. It was all Qiao Xian's fault. Ms. Mi Jr. was very annoyed too. She was embarrassed in front of First Madam. In order to turn the tables, she was going to give Qiao Xian a hard time as well. Qiao Xian and First Madam were very close to each other, weren't they? When she finally found out Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan's residential address, Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked. She had liked that mansion and wanted to buy it too, but she hesitated because of the price. When she finally made up her mind to buy it, she was told that the house was already sold. She had asked the identity of the buyer, but the agent said that they wanted to keep it a secret. So, she didn't ask anything more about it. Many buyers did not want to reveal their identity. She had felt sorry about losing the house. Unexpectedly, the house belonged to Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian. They could not have been able to afford the house. It must have been the first madam who bought it for them. But then she thought, what if they were able to afford it? If they were able to afford the place, it was definitely because they earned a lot by selling lipsticks. Either of the scenarios made Ms. Mi Jr. feel angry. Since the autumn examination was coming soon, she was going to ruin Shao Yunduan, to vent her anger. But Ms. Mi Jr. had not expected that First Madam was watching out for her. Whatever Auntie Mao did was under First Madam's watch. So, the morning, when Shao Yunduan kept Xiao Xian company to buy things in the market, the hooligans bought by Ms. Mi Jr. decided to cause some trouble with the couple. But they were caught promptly by First Madam's men. They were all sent to the government office. First Madam stressed that the officer interrogated them in a strict way. In the end, it was found out that Auntie Miao's brother was responsible for this attack. When Auntie Mao's brother was caught, he sold out Auntie Mao without hesitation. Chapter 659, Looking down at the court. When the governmental office sent the guards to catch Auntie Mao at the Yuezheng mansion, Ms. Mi Jr. had tried to hide Auntie Mao, but First Madam let the guards come in. Auntie Mao was escorted away. She was completely devoted to Ms. Mi Jr. and did not sell out her master. She took the blame herself. She kept saying that she did not like the way Qiao Xian treated her second Mrs. Yuezheng, so she arranged the whole plan privately just to take revenge for second Mrs. Yuezheng. She only mentioned Nis. Mi Jr., but not Yuezheng Ting. After all, she did not want to ruin Yuezheng Ting's reputation. That was quite thoughtful of her. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were not hurt, but since Auntie Mao's plan was to hurt the examination participants, she had committed a serious crime. The imperial court really paid attention to talents and the imperial examination. If the criminals were not punished seriously, it would encourage anyone to hurt the participants. Malicious people could buy some hooligans to kill or hurt the talented ones and have a servant to take the blame. That was horrible. That was belittling the court. So, the officer in the governmental office decided to set up an example with Auntie Mao and her brother. He ordered that Auntie Mao and her brother were going to be imprisoned, and then exiled to the South Island, thousands of miles away. They would never be allowed to return. Second, Mrs. Yuezheng from the Yuezheng mansion did not know anything about this, but the whole thing was caused by her. Since the culprit was working for her closely, she was ordered to provide a compensation of 10,000 liang to Shao Yunduan along with an apology. Auntie Mao and her brother regretted their actions so badly at the moment. But there was no chance for them to change their words. No chance. The sister and brother regretted it. They were crying hard. South Island? That was a barren land. And never to return? That was horrible. Auntie Mao had thought that Shao Yunduan and Xiao Xian were not hurt and second Mrs. Yuezheng would help her too. So, she would probably only get some hits on the back and a few lectures, or imprisonment for half a month, which was not too bad. That was a punishment she could bear. Moreover, second Mrs. Yuezheng would help her so she would not need to suffer much. But the whole thing turned out to be so serious. Second Mrs. Yuezheng was annoyed too. She rushed to First Madam. Elder sister-in-law, don't you think that you are behaving way over the top for someone outside the family? You are ruining our family's reputation. Don't you ever forget that you are also part of the Yuezheng family. First Madam looked at her coldly. The difference between you and me is that you never talk sense. I will not mind my reputation if I am doing things against immorality. If you ever care about the Yuezheng family, you would never have done a thing like this. You are the one who makes the mistake, and still you are not learning from it. Instead, you are pushing it all to me. I am telling you, Xian is not someone outside the family. She and I get on well with each other. I have not officially asked her to become my goddaughter, but I treat her as my real daughter. You better remember this, if you ever want to set up her and Yunduan, you will be my enemy. If you are my enemy, I won't spare you either. Ms. Mi Jr. shivered out of anger. She almost lost her breath. First Madam sneered and added. Also, you think that it was I who made Auntie Mao get so seriously punished and you lose the money? Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. Not you? Of course not. I am not lying to you. You can think carefully about who else is involved in the matter. Chapter 660, Retreating NIS. Mi Jr. knew that First Madam would not lie to her at this moment. But who else was involved? She suddenly got shocked, and let out a low exclamation. First Madam sneered and figured that this woman had finally understood what was going on. How could that be possible? Ms. Mi Jr. sounded hoarse, angry, and jealous. Xie Jingrong did it? What was so special about Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan, that young Master Xie did all of this for them? Moreover, he was doing this against her. That meant only one thing, young Master Xie had no feelings towards her daughter, rather, he hated her. Otherwise, he would not have done things like this. Ms. Mi Jr. was jealous, and felt heart pumping hard because of anger. Her daughter loved him so deeply, but Xie Jingrong not only disliked her, but also did such a cruel thing to her. First Madam felt relaxed seeing the way she was distracted. This woman should be taught a lesson too, or she would think that she was capable of everything. Now, you got it? You know what reality is the reality, and what you should do and not do. Ms. Mi Jr. gritted her teeth and left. Yuezheng Ting was so irritated and disappointed. She complained about Auntie Mao being completely useless. She said that Auntie Mao not only failed to touch Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian, but got herself punished. Worse, her mother had to compensate Shao Yunduan and Ojao Xian with 10,000 liang. Mom, we can't just drop it. I don't think that they are always going to be so lucky. Ms. Mi Jr. felt sad for her daughter. She said quietly, drop it, Ting. The officer said that we can never touch Shao Yunduan. Not only Shao Yunduan, but everyone else in the capital was also very cautious towards those participants, in case they ran into trouble if they ever tried to hurt any of them. Yuezheng Ting sneered. Then, we can leave Shao Yunduan alone. We can deal with Qiao Xian. She is not a participant. Ms. Mi Jr. was startled. Mom, Auntie Mao has been punished so seriously and you have been fined 10,000 liang. You really want to let it go? Ms. Mi Jr. was somehow persuaded. But the moment she recalled what First Madam said to her, she retreated. She was trying to convince herself that First Madam was not better than her. But if First Madam really wanted to become her enemy, she would not be able to counter her. After a moment of hesitation, Ms. Mi Jr. shook her head with a sigh. Okay, just drop this. Stay in the mansion and don't go anywhere, there was a rumor going on outside. Even she decided to stay indoors in case she got asked about anything that just happened. Yuezheng Ting was not convinced. But she said nothing more. First Madam sent her people to ask Ms. Mi Jr. when she was going to apologize to Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian and give them the money. That was an order from the governmental office, which she could not dodge. Ms. Mi Jr. felt so annoyed and sought the help of Madame Yuezheng, but First Madam ignored them both. So, the next day, Ms. Mi Jr. went to Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian's home, accompanied by the First Madam. Ms. Mi Jr. knew that if she tried to evade it any longer, First Madam would definitely send more people to urge her and she would be badgered again and again. So, she decided to finish it as soon as possible in case she got constantly harassed. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian did not give her a hard time. She apologized to the couple and gave them the money. That was the end of the deal. Chapter 661, Fully prepared. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan did not lack this money. But they needed to do this for First Madam's sake. They wanted to return the money to the Yuezheng family, but First Madam did not accept it. The officer made the decision, so that is what you deserve. If you don't accept it, that would be disrespectful to the officer. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan expressed their gratitude and accepted the money. Qiao Xian said with a smile, "Aunt, you are here for the first time, how about staying back for lunch? I will cook some dishes for Aunt." Nis. Mi Jr. did not want to stay there any longer. She forced an apology out of her mouth and gave them 10,000 liang, and left, without any intention of looking at the couple for even an extra second. First Madam was happy to remain where she was. "Sure, let me stay and taste the food you make." Shao Yunduan remained there for a while and then went back to continue with his studies. He had gone through everything, but there were still a few days left and he would rather read and practice. Qiao Xian kept First Madam company in the garden for a while, before going into the kitchen to make dishes. She knew that the First Madam liked something light, so she asked Liulang to get the ingredients ready and she was just in time to do the cooking. At this time, crabs were available in the market. She removed the crab roe and crab meat and fried them into crab powder. It was served with soft and smooth tofu, making it a delicious and smooth crab powder tofu dish. The glutinous rice soaked with meatballs was steamed in a drawer, and the crystal clear glutinous rice meatballs were ready. She sprinkled it with green onion, which made it fragrant and eye-catching. She cut the pigeon into 4 pieces and stewed soup with ginkgo fruit, lotus seeds, and wolfberry. For the chicken dish, young hens were selected. The meat was extraordinarily tender. After processing, she put it on a plate and drizzled it with seasoned scallion oil. It was a scallion oil chicken that blended the fragrance of scallion and meat, and the chicken was tender and delicious. She also cooked a dish of eel with soy sauce and 2 portions of seasonal vegetables. Shao Yunduan ate in his own study, whilst Qiao Xian kept First Madam company at the dining table. First Madam had not expected that Qiao Xian was so good at cooking. She was so surprised that she spoke highly of Qiao Xian. Especially the scallion oil chicken and glutinous rice meatballs, she had not eaten things like this before. The rest of the dishes were also different from the ones she tasted before. It seemed that Qiao Xian cooked them better. No wonder she liked Qiao Xian. She was so smart and clever, and she could do anything. Qiao Xian would never have a bad time because of this skill. How blind her father was to have deserted someone like her. First Madam sighed whenever she thought about this. Soon, it was time for the autumn examination. Despite her confidence in Shao Yunduan, Qiao Xian and the maids were very nervous. Shao Yunduan felt quite moved in heart. "Wait for me here, I will definitely make it." "Yes, darling. You will surely succeed." The couple smiled at each other sweetly. Shao Yunduan raised his hands to brush away Qiao Xian's hair, saying in a soft voice, "For your sake, I will make it." "What?" Qiao Xian raised her eyebrows and looked confusedly at him. She did not catch his words. "Nothing." Shao Yunduan shook his head. "Wait for me to come back." Shao Yunduan went on the wagon and disappeared against the dawn. Qiao Xian and Liulang did not return to the yard until the wagon went around the corner. Chapter 662. A bit more. Shao Yunduan was going to spend 9 days in a row giving the exam. That made Qiao Xian's hair stand up. Honestly, ancient literati were definitely not weak people. Otherwise, they would not make it through even 1 day of such tough conditions. Anyone who could survive the test was definitely very healthy and strong. Qiao Xian felt a bit hollow in heart. She was both nervous and excited. Although it was too early to make a conclusion now, the future looked bright. She believed that Shao Yunduan was going to make it. He should, she was very confident about him. In the morning, First Madam asked she to take some pastry and fresh peaches, grapes and some fruits and visit her. First Madam would visit her when she found time one of the days. Qiao Xian felt warm in her heart. She was grateful for the support. It was lucky for her to have met someone like First Madam and her family. During these days, when Shao Yunduan was taking the examination, Qiao Xian went to visit the First Madam a few times, but the rest of the days, she just stayed at home and waited for Shao Yunduan. Yuezheng Shao sent his men to Shaoding village to fetch 2 carts full of watermelons and 1,100 lipsticks. They also brought news about the first section of the family to her. Yuezheng Shao asked his men to send 2,800 liang and 10 watermelons to Qiao Xian, along with the message that everyone was doing well in her family. Qiao Xian smiled and felt assured. She and Shao Yunduan had been away from home for far too long this time. It was a relief that everything was fine at home. 9 days passed eventually, and Yuezheng Shao took his servants to pick up Shao Yunduan. Qiao Xian joined them too. The wagon was parked in a corner, a few blocks away from the examination hall. It could not go in front of the main gate. Moreover, there was a traffic jam in the area. First Madame had told her to wait in the wagon, so that Yuezheng Shao could go and pick Shao Yunduan with his men. She was a young woman and did not have to get accosted by the crowd. If an accident happened, it would be really bad. Shao Yunduan had been training physically and he often did some farming at home, so he was relatively fitter. Still, after spending 9 days in the exam hall, he looked very weak and there were prominent, dark circles around his eyes. He looked quite pale. He barely held on when he met Yuezheng Shao and Songsher. He managed to smile and went up to greet Yuezheng Shao. Some people simply collapsed at the sight of their brothers, family and servants. A few people could not even wait for their people to arrive and fell down halfway. Darling. Qiao Xian was waiting anxiously and looked around. When she spotted him, she waved at him, her eyes sparkling. Shao Yunduan saw her and smiled brightly too. He could not help but feel warm and wave at her. Qiao Xian climbed down the wagon and greeted him. Thank goodness, you are all right. Let's go home. Okay, darling. You have worked hard. I am fine, it was not really that hard. Yuezheng Shao rubbed his nose and felt that he should not be intervening at this moment. Still, he cleared his throat with a smile. Hey, I am still here. Chapter 663, Yes. Qiao Xian was startled. She was blushing but Shao Yunduan remained calm. He responded in composure. Thank you for today, Brother Yuezheng. Would you like to come and have some tea at home? Yuezheng Shao waved his hands and shook his head, looking at him with a meaningful smile. No, thanks. One don't want to impose myself upon you today. You should go home now. Brother Xia and I will visit you tomorrow. The couple had been away from each other for a long time and they needed our union. He knew that. He was not going to be the third wheel under the circumstances. Shao Yunduan knew that he must have misunderstood something. Without explaining anything, he nodded and said, Okay, we will be waiting for you to come tomorrow. Okay. Seeing Shao Yunduan getting onto the wagon with Qiao Xian, Yuezheng Shao smiled and went back to his mother. His mother was really fond of Qiao Xian, not just because she saved her husband's life. She truly liked Qiao Xian as a person. She was very devoted to Qiao Xian, even more than she was towards her own son. She did not even ask him when he was planning to get married. Seeing Shao Yunduan's composure, he believed that Shao Yunduan must have done well in the examination. Xia Jingrong had given him enough study materials. When they were discussing the content in the past, he did not understand anything, but it sounded profound. So, he should be capable of making it to the next level. In the wagon, Qiao Xian passed a cup of honey tea to Shao Yunduan. Darling, drink some tea to moisten your throat. Qiao Xian could not help but feel sorry for Shao Yunduan. She had never seen him look so pale like this. The examination time was just too long. The tea cleared his throat, and had an aftertaste of lemon. Shao Yunduan finished it all and felt refreshed again. Darling, I should make it to the next level this time. Shao Yunduan sounded calm and looked confident, as he said this to Qiao Xian with a smile. He was never an arrogant man. If he said that he could clear it, then he would. Qiao Xian believed him. Actually, when she saw him approaching her from afar, she somehow felt assured in heart. That's good. We will have good news to share with the family. Shao Yunduan nodded and showed an excited look. We will pass on the news to Officer Qiao as well. He will be glad too. Shao Yunduan had seen through Officer Qiao. He was going to be very friendly to him if he made it to the next level, even though he looked down at him earlier. Shao Yunduan will definitely have a promising future if he made it to the next level and would be of great help to Officer Qiao. Shao Yunduan did not care whether Madame Qiao would be pleased or not. Qiao Xian felt that it was a very pleasing thought. It was going to be so much fun looking at Madame Qiao's face at that time. She smiled brightly. Yeah, we will go together to tell them the good news, right? The couple exchanged a look and smiled. The hot water bath was ready. Shao Yunduan went to take a bath and wash his hair. He changed his clothes and felt quite fresh. Qiao Xian had already stewed black-bone chicken, along with red dates, ginkgo and lotus seeds, which had been stewed with rock sugar and white fungus to make a delicious soup. She offered it to her husband. Drink some soup, and have a good rest. I will cook you a big dinner tonight. Chapter 664. Good thinking. When Shao Yunduan was away, she felt that the whole house was empty, though he was the only one missing. Once he was back, the empty feeling suddenly disappeared. It felt as if the home was complete again. She did not try to purposefully feel SP. She just had a slight sense of easiness, relaxation and quietness. Shao Yunduan looked gentle and answered happily, picking up the soup bowl to drink. The chicken soup had been stewed long enough to be fragrant and delicious. The aroma of red dates and ginkgo blended with the aroma of chicken. Every mouthful warmed the stomach and quickly replenished the energy of the body that had been consumed, making his mood change for the better. Shao Yunduan suddenly felt greedy. He wished that this kind of warmth and peace would never be taken away from him. Shao Yunduan felt tired and needed to relax and rest. After finishing the soup, he went back to the room and slept. Lixia and Liqiao were glad and exchanged a few happy words with Qiao Xian, congratulating her. They had been living so freely and happily after moving to the Shao family. Hence, they wished that the Shao family would get better. In this way, they could just stay with the Shao family forever. Qiao Xian was glad but did not lose her rationality. She reminded them. The result is not certain yet, so nothing can be sure until the final result is out. We can talk amongst ourselves, but no conversation outside. If someone asks about this, don't say anything, alright? Some neighbors kept asking about Shao Yunduan's situation, when they ran into each other in the market. Lixia and Liqiao nodded sincerely. We won't, don't worry. Yeah, we are not in a hurry. We will be patient. The result will be out soon, and at that time, we will talk about this freely. Yes, yes. Qiao Xian, that was the right plan. Do remember to keep your mouth sealed. For dinner, Qiao Xian made gastrodia alata pigeon soup, cooked soft, shelled turtle and chicken nuggets, steamed mandarin fish, shrimp and egg, green pepper beef, garlic lettuce, fungus and yam. It was to treat Shao Yunduan well. He ate casual food during the past 9 days and must have been fed up. He was lucky that Qiao Xian had prepared some dried pork and beef to help him sustain during the tough period. Shao Yunduan was glad to see a table full of dishes. He was greedy to have them all. Qiao Xian noticed the way he reacted. Feeling satisfied and glad, she said modestly, "These are just casual dishes I have cooked. Eat them to make yourself energetic again." Shao Yunduan smiled brightly. Okay, I will eat it all. Qiao Xian felt her heart sweeten and she smiled. Help yourself. Shao Yunduan smiled slowly, and picked steamed mandarin fish with chopsticks for Qiao Xian. The snow-white fish was dipped in a rich sauce. It looked tender and delicious. This dish had always been Qiao Xian's favorite. Sorry to worry you. Darling, please eat some too. Chapter 665. Her husband Qiao Xian was flattered. You know how to please me. You also eat, don't just concentrate on giving food to me. Shao Yunduan replied instantly. You can feed me too. Anyways, you don't need to please me. Everything I own is yours. Qiao Xian smiled brightly. That is cool. But my things are still my things. Shao Yunduan laughed. Of course. The following day, Xie Jingrong and Yuezheng Shao came to visit them, and did not leave until after lunch. Shao Yunduan spent the following few days keeping Qiao Xian company at home. Post that, having been invited by Lu Min and Gu Zhao, he went out to meet some other participants. They talked about the result of the examination and everyone sounded hopeful. They kept discussing what the answers should be and who would be the provincial champion this time. There were numerous guesses going around. Shao Yunduan heard the news but was not moved by these small rumors. There was no fluctuation in his heart. He did not care about the rumors because he had access to the official channel to hear the truth. If anything really happened, the Xie family should definitely know about this and Xie Jingrong would not conceal it from him. The date of the result was soon revealed. Everyone was talking about it. Some casinos even set up the bet about who would be the provincial champion. Many popular ones were ranked in the list. Qiao Xian looked at the list and found that Shao Yunduan was not included in the candidate list, in any of the casinos. She felt really displeased. How could her husband not be mentioned in the betting list? Her husband was such a diligent and excellent man. Qiao Xian dressed up as a man and went to the biggest casino in the province. She did not place her bet on any of the candidates. Instead, she put forward the name of Shao Yunduan. She bet that Shao Yunduan would become the provincial champion. Qiao Xian knew enough about the imperial examination. A cultivated talent was a very difficult level to achieve and the recommended man level would be even harder to reach. The advanced scholar level was the most difficult, since the examination only took place once every third year. In the whole country, only 300 people were accepted. Just the names sounded so difficult. Actually, she wasn't sure if Shao Yunduan could become the provincial champion. If Shao Yunduan could achieve the title of the recommended man, he would be considered excellent. Still, Qiao Xian felt that Shao Yunduan's intelligence should not be ignored. He deserved to be at least on the probable candidate list. So, just for the talent of her husband and her belief in him, she was going to make a bet. The owner of the casino looked at Qiao Xian as if he were looking at an idiot. He laughed. The others laughed as well. What is his name again? Don't know, never heard of him. Well, maybe they have some news, maybe this man really has become the provincial champion. That is impossible. It would either be Gu Yuan or Hu Zhanghe. No one else is expected to make it this time. Qiao Xian remained unconvinced. The result has not been announced yet. Anything is possible. You are drawing a conclusion too early. Shao Yunduan has always kept a low profile and he is modest. I believe that he is capable. Just tell me if I can make a bet here or not, if not, I will go somewhere else. Chapter 666, Shao Yunduan's reputation, of course you can. The owner smiled. But if you are the only one who makes the bet, and you are putting a very small amount on it, we can't even open it. If you want to make a bet, it needs at least 1,000 liang, okay? The owner was very eager to get the money. Qiao Xian asked him. What is the compensation rate? Was she really going to make the bet? The owner was motivated and answered enthusiastically. 5 times. Honestly, the most popular candidates would have the return of 3 times, and the 2 most popular ones had a rate of 1.5 times. The casino was trying to earn money, not giving out money. 5 times were a lot. Everyone booed. This was going to be a great show. Qiao Xian smiled. Okay, then, my bet is that he is going to win. Here are 5,000 liang. Qiao Xian brought out 5 notes of 1,000 liang and placed them on the table. Everyone gasped. Then, someone clapped excitedly. Good, very brave. Huh, what a stupid person. 5,000 liang is too little. Add some more. The owner was startled but soon he smiled. He put away the money and gave Qiao Xian the invoice. He smiled. Keep it, as a souvenir. Everyone laughed, and looked at Qiao Xian mockingly, as if she were an idiot. Qiao Xian smiled. Elle will definitely keep it safe to get my money. Be prepared to have 25,000 liang ready for me. The owner laughed confidently in return. Don't worry, we never cheat. Qiao Xian snorted. Good. She believed that the casino would be able to afford the compensation, since they were rich. Also, she had the Yuezheng family behind her. She was not worried that they would be able to cheat. Later, Qiao Xian found 3 more casinos and put 5,000 liang each as the bet. The other casinos were surprised and found it funny. So, they followed suit and increased the compensation rate to 5 times. Some others also wanted to have fun, so they put down the money as well. Shao Yunduan, as a candidate, received a minimum of 100 liang in each of the 4 casinos. With this, Shao Yunduan's name became popular. Qjao and Lu Min were shocked. Who did it? They soon realized that maybe Shao Yunduan could make it as the provincial champion. Shao Yunduan had always kept a low profile and he never bragged or talked big. But he was very learned and they did not know how knowledgeable he was. They even teased him that they would make a bet to support him. Shao Yunduan laughed. Shao Yunduan knew that it was his wife who started the bet. But Qjao and Lu Min did go to support him by putting down 5 liang each. They were not from a rich family after all. Back at home, Shao Yunduan laughed at the sight of Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian felt a little guilty, but not overly so. She said confidently, I'll believe that my husband should have a name on that list, for luck's sake. You won't blame me for splurging, will you? Chapter 667, Support of course not. Shao Yunduan chuckled. As long as you are happy. Instead, one want to say thank you for thinking so highly of me. Qiao Xian was quite cheerful. Elle just don't want them to look down at you. Don't be stressed, we will accept the result, no matter what. Shao Yunduan smiled. Yeah. Actually, he was sure that he would make it to the next level and would attain a good rank on the list. But his wife really had a high expectation of him, so he felt a little stressed now. As the news spread around, Yuezheng Shao was amused and went to make a bet as well. He stood by Shao Yunduan's side. But he did not think that he should trespass Qiao Xian, so he only bet 3,000 liang in each casino. Hearing the news, Ms. Mi Jr. laughed, and then sneered. She even went to talk about this to First Madam. She claimed that Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan did it on purpose just to make Shao Yunduan famous, and even coaxed Yuezheng Shao to splurge. Yuezheng Shao spent more than 10,000 liang on this, and that was a huge amount. First Madam was amused hearing that. She kept asking Ms. Mi Jr. for more details. Ms. Mi Jr. felt even prouder. Elder sister-in-law, now you see the couple's real face, and slapped right across First Madam's face. So, she told her every little detail. First Madam smiled. Thanks for telling me this, second sister-in-law, or I would have had absolutely no idea. Ms. Mi Jr. felt even prouder. Elder sister-in-law, now you see the couple are up to no good. They didn't dare to tell you in case they ruin your reputation after getting benefits from you for free. First Madam replied. They have never tricked me or got anything from us for free. Why do you keep saying so? This is a very interesting thing though, why didn't my son tell me about it? Auntie Hua, go and get 20,000 liang to make a bet. First Madam also believed that she should not go past Qiao Xian. She was the aunt and she could stand shoulder and shoulder with her. Ms. Mi Jr. did not know that it was Qiao Xian who started it. But First Madam and Yuezheng Shao knew clearly that it was she who was behind all of these. What are you doing, elder sister-in-law? Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked and soon got furious. She was being slapped by First Madam now. First Madam said, nothing serious, just making a bet. Join us if you want to. Ms. Mi Jr. staggered. Elder sister-in-law, you are trying to trick me? Oh. First Madam smiled. What does this have to do with you, anyways? You have overthought this matter. Ms. Mi Jr. was startled and got stuck speechless. First Madam was going to place a bet and that had nothing to do with her. But First Madam would not have made the bet if she had not spoken of this in front of her. Her telling First Madam was one thing and First Madam knowing about this and making the bet was another. First Madam never promised anything to her. Elder sister-in-law, you are bent on making me unhappy, aren't you? Oh, I see, I am not half as important as that outsider. Ms. Me Jr. was about to leave in anger after saying that. Second sister-in-law. First Madam stopped her and said coldly, you and I know pretty well what you have done during all these years. We all know that, but we don't bother to talk about it, understand? Chapter 668, Good News, Second Sister-in-Law. Do you really think that I am so forgiving not to care what you did to us before? Don't keep harping on the fact that we are a family. Don't you feel guilty saying this? Ms. Me Jr. felt both angry and embarrassed. She snorted and left. Auntie Hua soon got the money and asked the housekeeper to place the bet. The housekeeper informed her that the rate had been adjusted to 3 times. That was because the money put in was so huge that the casino had to change the rate. First Madam felt that it was a pity. But the casinos were also in a dilemma. Not many people made the bet, but the amount was always huge. The initiator put down 5,000 liang, and then came someone with 3,000 liang, then another person with 3,000 liang. That made them feel hesitant. It was 11,000 with all of those put together. If they lost, it would be 55,000 if the bet was lost. That was not a huge amount. What if someone added to the amount? So, the owner decided to adjust the rate. Sure enough, one day after the adjustment, someone with 5,000 liang came to place a bet. Those who were watching the show felt that Shao Yunduan might have some competence, so they decided to try their luck as well. So after one day, more than 500 liang was taken in. The owner was totally shocked. What was everyone doing here? Who on earth was the first person who started all of this? He really wanted to ask him if he had any inside news that made the person do this. Otherwise, why so generous? They all knew that the young master placed a bet of 20,000 liang in 4 casinos at one go. But they were never going to find that young master anymore because Qiao Xian did not show up again dressed as a man. The governmental office understood clearly that everyone was eager to see the result. So, the office urged that the paper should be examined as fast as possible. 5 days later, it was time for the result. Shao Yunduan went out with Songshe to check the list. Yuezheng Shao joined them. Xie Jingrong was not in a good position to do so, so he did not show up. He did not reveal his identity when making the bet at the casino. He asked Xie Dong to find someone outside the mansion to do so. Qiao Xian was waiting anxiously at home with Li Xia and Li Qiao. They started to panic while they were waiting. They just could not help but think about the worst case. What if, well, one never knew about the future. 4 hours passed, and the wagon finally showed up. Qiao Xian's eyes brightened, and she almost had her heart popping out. The wagon pulled over. Songshe got out of the wagon and passed on the congratulations. Qiao Xian let out a sigh of relief. She went up and saw Shao Yunduan and Yuezheng Shao coming out of the wagon. You made it to the next level? Congratulations. Shao Yunduan took hold of her hands with a smile. Darling, congratulations to you. You can have all your money back. Really? Qiao Xian screamed and was shocked by the unexpected happy news. She felt that she was already floating in the clouds. You are the provincial champion? You really are the provincial champion? Actually, she was not sure if Shao Yunduan could become the provincial champion. She made the bet because she wanted Shao Yunduan to have what other candidates had. Chapter 669, Low Profile. She did not lack money. She could always earn it back. She was just being generous while placing that bet. Seeing Qiao Xian's bright smile, Shao Yunduan also felt really pleased. He felt happier now compared to the time when he knew that he was the provincial champion. Shao Yunduan nodded and grinned. Yes. I am the provincial champion. So, you will be Mrs. Provincial Champion from this moment on. Qiao Xian blushed and started to get a little shy. She nodded with a light smile and her eyes lit up. She could not stop smiling. Yuezheng Shao glanced at the couple and touched his forehead. He was the third wheel again, wasn't he? How embarrassing. Well, brother Shao and sister-in-law, you better get ready for the official messenger. I am afraid that there will be many people coming to congratulate you later today. Oh yeah, we should prepare for it. Qiao Xian suddenly realized what was going on. She asked Shao Yunduan and Yuezheng Shao to stay there whilst she, along with Li Xia and Li Qiao, went to make preparations. The governmental office would come to pass on the news and offer some bonus. The participants and the neighbors would also walk in to congratulate him. So, they needed to prepare tea, candies, pastries and some snacks. They didn't have much stuff at home, so she asked Li Xia to buy them. Li Qiao was asked to boil the water in the kitchen whilst Qiao Xian had the tea and teacups ready. Sure enough, 1 hour later, the governmental office delegation came over. Shao Yunduan's good news had already spread to the neighborhood. Lu Min and other participants knew about this too. Many people came to the yard and passed on the congratulations. Yuezheng Shao sent across 10 page boys and maids to help, so that they were not too busy. Lu Min and Qjao also made it to the next level, with Qjao ranking the last, and Lu Min placed somewhere in the middle. But they were already very satisfied by the result, and gave the most sincere congratulations to Shao Yunduan. They were young and were lucky to have achieved this result. Their future was filled with various possibilities. They had the energy and time to advance to the next level after this. They had been to Shao Yunduan's home, so it was all right. But the other participants came there for the first time. When they heard about the owner of the house, they were all shocked. Some people, who were not convinced or had looked down at Shao Yunduan earlier, lost their arrogance. After all, Shao Yunduan had never spent much money on their gatherings and he was always plainly dressed. But ordinary people could not afford a house like this in the province or have a good relationship with the young master from the Yuezheng family. Shao Yunduan had just been keeping a low profile in the past. They suddenly felt so shameful when they realized what was going on. Amongst them, the most shocked group was the cultivated talents from the county. They had heard of Shao Yunduan before, and just could not believe what they saw. When did the Shao family become so wealthy? But then, Shao Yunduan was county magistrate's son-in-law, so it seemed reasonable that he had money. Did it mean? Shao Yunduan and Officer Qiao did not have a bad relationship as per the rumor. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian did not like what they heard. Chapter 670, Mysterious. They both expressed openly that they bought the house themselves, not through Officer Qiao. Officer Qiao was just a county magistrate, and he could not have so much money to afford a house like this in the province for his son-in-law. Unless he had embezzled money. Moreover, they earned the money through business with the Yuezheng family. Yuezheng Shao was present there too. He smiled and confirmed what the couple said. Those who were present nodded in realization. Most people stopped asking for details at this point, but some annoying ones asked about what business they were doing, because of which they made so much money. Yuezheng Shao laughed. That is a business secret. Shao Yunduan smiled too but kept his mouth shut. The curious ones finally stopped asking. Why did they have to tell them what business they were involved in? Yuezheng Shao confirmed the business relationship, and that was already a way to show that it was the truth. Most people were very understanding except for a few annoying ones. They were all in a good mood for the rest of the day. By the afternoon, the neighbors and guests were all gone. Yuezheng Shao said, "Sister-in-law, do you think you should go and collect the money from the casinos? We should do it as soon as possible." Qiao Xian was startled for a moment and then chuckled. Right, one would have forgotten about this but for your reminder. Shao Yunduan smiled at her. She did love money, but because of his success today, she did not even care about it. So, she liked him more than she liked money. Qiao Xian did not show up at the casinos personally. She gave the invoice to Yuezheng Shao and asked him to get the money back. The owner had to do it according to the deal. He said some sour words asking if they had learned the result ahead of time, else they would not have put so much money in it. Yuezheng Shao smiled. It was only because we believe in Brother Shad's talent. He is knowledgeable, modest and doesn't like showing off. But we are his friends and know so much about him. The owner almost passed out in anger. Qiao Xian earned a profit of 100,000 liang. Yuezheng Shao also earned more than 10,000 and Lu Min earned dozens of liang, which covered half of their fares spent on the trip to the capital. That mysterious young master earned a name for his antics. But this young master left without showing up again in front of anyone. He never showed up but left an impact on the casinos. Qiao Xian was so happy to hold the money. Honestly, she was fortunate to have so much money and felt like a winner. Qiao Xian did not cook after a long day. She got it delivered from the restaurant instead. There would be some gatherings in the near future and she was going to treat Yuezheng Shao and some friends for meals. She was also going to visit the old master and first madam. They were going to spend the following 7 or 8 days attending banquets. Yuezheng Shao did not leave and stayed over for dinner. In fact, Shao Yunduan would rather eat alone with Qiao Xian, but Yuezheng Shao helped him so much that he did not drive him away. Qiao Xian booked 2 tables of dishes. She and Yuezheng Shao, Shao Yunduan shared one table whilst the servants shared the other. Everyone was really happy. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.